Dragon Ball getting stronger from signing in Chapter 141 to 160. Chapter 141 Destruction of the Idol Paw, Abused. This thing is useless to me. Chumo said coldly, Weiss made me too old sauerkraut. After speaking, a layer of red golden energy flashed from the palm of his hand, and slapped it directly at the destructive energy bomb blasted by Shangpa. Hey! With a brisk voice, Chumo directly slapped the destructive energy back and slapped it back, and then slammed into Vados. On the barrier created by Whis together. Boom! A huge firework explosion looks great. Nani, how is that possible? Shangpa paled in shock. It was an energy bomb that destroyed attributes, and it would be slapped flying by this kid. How is this possible? Yes, how is this possible? For thousands of years, I have never seen a guy as perverted as Chumo. What an astonishing fellow, Weiss, has he really never practiced with you? Vados said while eating chicken noodles stewed with shiitake mushrooms. She can see clearly that the energy in Chumo is a kind of divine energy that is not lost to destruction energy. As a human being, she became a god herself, and she became a supreme god like the god of destruction, which really opened her up. Vision. 18 on the side looked at Vados with a half smile. It seems that this angelic beauty is not far from the fall. First the realm king god, then the angel. This stinky husband of his own can really attract bees and butterflies. She never thought of being jealous or anything. She loves if she wants to. This is the character of number 18. After Chumo hit the energy bomb, a stronger red golden air wave erupted from his body, and the scorching heat wave directly swept through. To everyone in the cosmic cube in the distance, fortunately, Weiss had a magic wand, which blocked these heat waves. Invasion. However, at this time, Weiss' eyes became serious, and he felt that Chumo's breath became stronger. For the first time, he got a trace of threat. He didn't expect that Chumo had grown so fast. Vados giggled and said, What's the matter, Weiss? His strength doesn't seem to be as good as yours, so it needs to be recognized that way. Really? Weiss squinted his eyes, took a bite of the noodles, and said, This is not, it just increases Chumo's strength. Surprised by the strong speed. It seems that he can catch up with me soon. That's interesting. Vados ate the instant noodles with chopsticks, squinted his eyes and said, It seems that Master Shangpa can see the real. Great is fine. At this time, the two arrogances of purple and red gold, Ayaka, were constantly colliding on the arena. The huge power, even if there are enchantments blocking most of them, but there are still a lot of them venting out, constantly spreading the surrounding hundreds of millions of kilometers. The planet exploded. At this time, the realm king god of the sixth universe was already stunned. He didn't know that Chumo was also a god. Because Chumo's godhead is not exactly the same as them. The Kaiwang god of the sixth universe felt that his worldview had collapsed, and that human beings could already challenge the power of gods. Strict. Bang. Chumo, after blocking Shangpa's attack with one hand, he slammed a punch and hit Shangpa's fat face directly. Superior. Suddenly the fat face turned into a pig's head, and serious deformation occurred. If it wasn't for the god of destruction's super strong physique, this punch would have directly blasted his head. Wow. Shangpa spewed a bloody arrow from his mouth, and suddenly became furious. Damn. How dare you hurt me? In anger, Shangpa clenched his hands into a fist, and punched Chumo's face quickly. Time reversal. Chumo directly reversed, second time, and then appeared in front of Shangpa and punched him in the chest. Yuck. Shangpa felt like his movements paused for a while, and then he felt like he was flying backwards. Damn. Shangpa quickly stopped and glared at Chumo. He felt like he was going to explode. But he didn't act rashly. He already understood that the opponent's strength was no longer lower than him, or even stronger. Chumo did not continue to attack. Although the attack power of this elephant is not as good as that of the elephant, it is stronger than Zung in terms of resistance to beatings. There are a lot of Sri Lanka, and it is also good to have more fat. Moreover, he found that the ability of this time reversal could not be used against the god of destruction all the time. It will be a little more immune, so he feels that it is better to give up using special abilities. In the arena, the two gods confronted each other, and the depressing atmosphere quickly reached its peak. In the universe cube, almost everyone ate 2 or 3 packs of instant noodles, full of aroma. Yeah, it's so comfortable, eating instant noodles and watching fights. Sun Wukong said heartlessly, looking very satisfied. Although Vegeta didn't say anything, she was satisfied with a few cups of instant noodles. Everyone's eyes were focused on Chumo and Champa, and the outcome was about to be decided. A chilling air is like the end of the universe. Chumo has always been the state of Super Saiyan 4. His long red gold hair fluttered, his golden eyes stared silently, and the corners of his mouth raised a confident smile. Champa's eyes moved slightly, and a drop of sweat fell from his face unknowingly. Suddenly Champa moved first, and the movement seemed to be faster than the speed of light. Click! A violent destructive energy erupted from the fist, tightly sealing the space ahead. The surrounding space seemed to have become hard metal, but Chumo smiled and his body moved. Chumo's body began to become blurred. Even the solidified space could not stop him, beyond the elephant. Paw speed. Hey! Champa's fist rubbed against Chumo's body, and the attack failed. Suddenly a shadow came. Champa was shocked, and saw that Chumo's palm was hitting the top of his head. Hurry up. In response, cover the top of your head with your hands. Bang! Champa only felt his arms go numb. Time seemed to freeze, and the whole person turned into a meteor and fell straight into the ring. Ground. Boom. The arena vibrated, the dust flew up, Champa's body fell into the ground, and a large pit with a diameter of 1 kilometer appeared in it. Under the body. Damn it, what a lot of strength. Elephant Paw flew furiously, his sharp teeth flashing with cold light. Hey! Champa moved again, and the lightning-fast attack began again. The battle between the two sides entered the streamer speed. Except for Vados, Wes, and Beerus who could see clearly, the others. They just saw a shadow. Even Sun Wukong and Vegeta looked at them with a dull look, and couldn't help but feel annoyed that they were not strong enough. It is impossible to fully see the battle between the two sides. Bang! 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 The strong collision, the air was pierced, revealing the endless void inside, showing a terrifying 1-by-1. Vacuum zone. Destroy. Destroy. The splendid luster flickered in midair, collided together, and then devoured and disappeared at the same time. Chapter 142 The All-King is on the stage. Destruction energy. Are you the god of destruction? The previous generation of god of destruction. Champa was startled. Only the god of destruction can possess the energy of destruction. Chumo is obviously not the god of destruction of this generation. Is it the god of destruction of the previous generation? Impossible. The two of them both stepped back, and Champa stepped back several dozen meters in surprise before barely stopping. Guess what? Chumo smiled lightly. Elephant Paw darkened his face and shouted angrily. God of destruction, that's all. As soon as the words fell, Chumo's temperament completely changed. Like Weiss and the others, a flavor that blends in with nature spreads out, and then layers upon layers, the momentum continues. The improvement, until the space here seems to be unbearable, and blood-red stripes appear. Space cracks. Boom. All kinds of frantic hurricanes raged and raged. The destruction idol Paw watched coldly, his scalp tingling, and at the same time a huge fighting spirit rose up. But seeing the surrounding space suddenly trembled, Champa stepped forward to attack Chumo, his arms raised lightly with a sharp. With a sound of breaking the air, a touch of god of destruction energy was squeezed in the palm of his hand, and the speed was extremely fast. A dazzling light was condensed at the tip of the fist. Clap la la, as if time and space were broken, a ray of divine light flashed in the dark. At this time, Shangpa has tried his best. Seeing the attack of destruction god Elephant Paw, Chumo smiled and became serious at the same time. After all, Shangpa is the strength of the fifth layer of the realm of the gods, and now he is doing his best to play, if he is not serious. If so, there is a real possibility of losing. A ray of cold light flashed in his eyes. Chumo stretched out a hand, his wrist danced, and his fist wandered in the air a few times. Lock up. Such simple actions seem to contain infinite mystery, and the body of destruction god Elephant Paw is unconsciously affected. Driven up, all the attacks have been ineffective, and then punched continuously, and a force came through the air. Destroyer god Elephant Paw was shocked, blood splashed from his mouth, and the whole person was thrown out by the volley. He slammed into the ground with his feet and slid out of 2 deep ravines. Stop for me. The god of destruction Elephant Paw roared, and the god of destruction's energy spread out, suddenly bursting with a colorful light like a peach blossom. Magnificent. You're the 4th floor of the realm of the gods to be so powerful. Shangpa looked horrified, sighed, and became a little tasteless, and simply stopped attacking. He originally thought that although Chumo was the 4th floor of the god realm, with the experience he had accumulated over the years, he should be able to. There is a chance to win. But I didn't expect Chumo's power to be so powerful, and his full attack not only failed to achieve any goal. What effect? On the contrary, it was bounced out between understatement. What do you think, Shangpa? Do you want to continue destroying them? Chumo floated in front of destruction god Elephant Paw and asked with a smile. Shangpa waved his hand and said irritably, no more fighting, no more fighting, your strength has surpassed me by too much. Except for a few people in the entire universe, no one is your opponent. Saying that, Destroyer god Elephant Paw looked at Chumo with a complicated expression. How did this guy cultivate? The speed is so fast. Hey, Mr. Shangpa gave up so easily. It was just a simple attack, and the destruction idol paw was knocked away. Seeing the destruction idol paw lost to Chumo, Sun Wukong and Vegeta couldn't help swallowing. They know that the god of destruction is powerful. When facing the god of destruction, they are completely the kind of complete, invincible feeling. But even so, Destroyer god Elephant Paw still lost to Chumo, and lost so cleanly and thoroughly. This can only show that Chumo's power is too strong, far above the destruction of the idol. That's pretty scary. Both of them had a look of horror in their eyes. They were both Saiyans, and Chumo's strength was much stronger than them. If they knew that Whis could stun Beerus with just a move, they'd know. The 7th floor and 6th floor of the realm of the gods are worlds apart. Although Chumo entered the 4th floor of the realm of the gods not long ago, his strength was no longer weaker than Beerus, who was on the 6th floor of the realm of gods. Ding! Congratulations to the host for playing the Destroyer idol, completing the sign-in task, and getting a sign-in gift package. Open the sign-in package. The sound of the system sounded in time, making Chumo happy. However, this time the difficulty is not too big. Chumo doesn't care too much about the reward of this gift package. Flowers 0. Open the package now. Chumo recited a sentence in his heart. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully opening the gift package and obtaining the fat attribute. During battle, you can turn into a super fat pig. Using body fat to resist the enemy's attack is the best weapon of defense. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the fire seed of God. After swallowing it, you can raise the level of the realm of God. Damn it! Chumo didn't know if he was happy or sad for a while. He felt like he was being played by the system. When he started to hear about obesity attributes, he really wanted to kill the system. Nima, there is such a sassy operation. Become a fat pig, even if invincible defense, he will definitely not do this, he can't afford to lose that person. Fortunately, the following rewards are okay. This is the second time he has obtained the reward of God's fire seed, and the first time he used it, he directly broke through to the 4th floor. The second time you use it, you can upgrade to a level of God realm, which is still very cost-effective. You know, Shangpa doesn't know how long he has been cultivating, and he has only just been on the 5th floor of the realm of gods. But it is already the middle force in the god of destruction, and the strength of the 4th layer of Chumo's realm is not weaker than that of Beerus. If he goes up one more level, then he can basically catch up with Weiss. He believed that he, on the 5th floor of the realm of the gods, was absolutely qualified to challenge an angel like Weiss. Just when Chumo was thinking about whether to devour this god's fire now, he suddenly felt a biting chill. As if some powerful life form had descended, invisible coercion spread over. Here he is. Chumo didn't need to look, he knew who it was. Lord Elephant Pa. Suddenly Vados appeared in the ring, startled like Pa jumped, and ignored the pig-headed face. Vados, why do you startle me? Shangpa is very melancholy, he wants to draw a circle and curse the Saiyans. Lord Shangpa, look over there. Vados had to remind again, and pointed to the other side of the ring. And Chumo, who is still with the old god before, has already looked over there, and he is also in his heart, Pian Jingtao. Turn up. Chumo didn't expect that just after he finished fighting, several people appeared. 1. Thank you for visiting 5G SmallNet. Remember me, 5G XS. Chapter 143 The 5th Floor of the Realm of God. It was King Quan, and his 2 servants. It is true that God has no breath, but it can appear silently, which is enough to show how powerful King Quan is. Horror, although IQ is a child. However, it may also be that the 2 gods are more powerful, and Chumo is silent and silent. The sultry servant felt a pressure. Knowing their strength, no less than Weiss, no wonder no one assassinated King Quan. Even if it's has in the back, if you want to kill King Quan, it's just a dream, and you can beat those 2 gods. Talk about it. What the hell are you trying to say, Vados? Shangpa was very impatient, but his eyes followed the position of Vados' fingers. At a glance, Shangpa's purple skin instantly turned white with fright, and the hairs all over his body stood up. May 4-7, fuck. 10,000 grass and mud horses galloped past Shangpa's heart at this time. In the space cube also had a mean smile on his face. Lord Beerus, look over there. What? Ah, His Excellency Wang Quan. As soon as Beerus turned his head, his purple complexion turned pale in an instant, his body trembled, his eyes bulged out of fear. Quang Quan, why is he here? Shangpa was also so frightened that his body trembled, and the 2 brothers appeared in front of King Quan in an instant, bowing 90 degrees. He bowed his head, sweating profusely. The 2 mighty gods of destruction were like 2 puppets, their bodies were stiff and trembling all over, letting the Monkey King hit and others looked inexplicable. There are still people who make them afraid to be like this. Who the hell is that scary? Master Quang Quan, come here. It's an honor. Beerus and Shangpa said in unison. King Quan's face was flat, looking at Beerus and Shangpa in front of him, he didn't care much at all. Weiss, who is that kid? Asked Vegeta, very curious. That is the supreme god of the 12 universes, the king of all. Whis still looked indifferent, but it surprised Sun Wukong, Vegeta and others. It's him. Sun Wukong pointed in the direction of King Quan. Bang! Job! The old god of the realm gave Sun Wukong a chestnut and said angrily, don't point fingers. Lord Quanwang raised his hand. You can directly destroy a universe. Nani? No way, so powerful. Sun Wukong and others were shocked. Originally, they thought that the god of destruction was the most powerful god. There is such a supreme god who can destroy a universe by raising his hand. No wonder Beerus and Elephant Pa are so terrified. Let's go down too, not here now. Weiss said lightly, and directly took everyone to the ring. Except for the 2 siblings, Weiss and Vados, everyone knelt on the ground. Oh, and Chumo was also standing. Seeing that Chumo still dared to stand, the two divine servants immediately swept over in dissatisfaction, and two powerful divine might directly forced past. Boom. Chumo only felt a thunderous sound in his ears, as if he was carrying a weight of 1,000 tons. Down becomes heavier. Ding! Post a new sign in task, stand in front of King Quan for a minute, complete the sign in task, and get the corresponding reward. Just when Chumo tried his best to resist the divine power of the two god attendants, the system released a new sign in task. It's just that this task made 10,000 grassy horses gallop past in Chumo's heart. Nima, this is killing me. Chumo felt that the difficulty was not that big. First of all, he had to break through these two obstructing god attendants. Devouring the fire of God. Chumo feels that he is not good enough now, so he simply devours the fire of God he just obtained and upgrades it. Ding! Congratulations to the host who devoured the fire of the gods, and the realm of the gods has risen to the 5th floor. As the sound of the system sounded, Chumo felt as if a powerful divine might emerged in his body, and instantly spread throughout the body. In an instant, the golden light flickered, and Chumo's whole body burst out like a group of golden light arrogance. The entire huge arena was illuminated by Chumo's light. No, the whole space was illuminated, like a sun. Hot, sacred, and distant, the aura of God on Chumo's body is getting stronger and stronger. Beerus glanced at it, and his face changed suddenly. My Nima, how long has it been? This guy has broken through again. The 5th floor of the realm of God. Beerus felt a gust of wind, and he thought about how he rose from the 4th floor to the 5th floor of the realm of the gods. How much time? 80 million years. Damn, Beerus just wants to curse. It took him 80 million years to improve to 1 level, but it took Chumo less than half a year to achieve his 8th level. Thousands of years of things. At this moment, Beerus was completely messed up in the wind. For the first time he doubted himself, is he not a genius? Weiss was also stunned, this seems to be too fast. But Vados is rushing thoughtfully in the beautiful eyes. She also heard what Weiss said before that Chumo was promoted. It takes less than half a year to guess to the realm of God. It's amazing how, now the deputy is about to break through. In the realm of the gods behind, every layer took thousands of years to break through, even among angels. The genius, and not as fast as this guy. Vados, a beautiful angel, was more interested in Chumo, and kept staring at Chumo. No, 18 smiled, the man he picked was really amazing. Looking at the beautiful angel again, staring at Chumo without blinking, number 18 felt even more proud. Sun Wukong can't have Chumo's 3.2 breath, but all the fools know that Chumo is constantly strengthening, and the arena is all over the place. Was shaken and shivered. But what surprised them was that the Quanwang child was very happy with this shock. Shake, shake, shake it for fun. King Quan's voice is very clear. This dangerous vibration, to him, is more like a kind of fun. Chumo felt that the divine power on his body was constantly being reduced, and suddenly realized that his own breakthrough had been made. To the 5th layer of the realm of God. Humph, you want to force me to be beautiful. Chumo snorted coldly in his heart, these two god servants are too deceiving. Seeing that he has no backstage, his strength is not very strong compared to them, so he deserves to be suppressed. The red golden arrogance on Chumo's body skyrocketed even more, and he walked to the position of King Quan step by step. Network. Remember me. 5GXS. Chapter 144 The Legend of the Super Saiyan Super Saiyan. The whole king is here, idlers retreat. The god attendant on the left suddenly stared, and his body suddenly appeared in front of Chumo. The intention is obvious, to block Chumo from moving forward. Go away. Chumo was furious, this guy blocked him, how could he complete the sign-in task? In order to complete the sign-in, Chumo said that he had to fight. However, the strength of these two gods is very strong. Even if Chumo's strength increases again, he will not be 100% strong. Grip. Offend His Royal Highness King Kwanwang, die. An icy aura emerged from the servant, and the killing intent rushed towards Chumo. A frost-like coldness appeared on Chumo's face, and there was a flash of war in his eyes. In a matter of seconds, the two disappeared at the same time, and only the sound of bang 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 fighting was heard continuously. Dao Dao's shocking explosion effect rose from the spot, and as the two fought, the entire arena seemed to be affected, followed by trembling vibrations. Weiss and Vados stood directly in front of King Quan, blocking the shock wave from Chumo and the god attendant. Virus and Elephant Pa 08 looked nervously looking at King Quan. He had already scolded Chumo many times in his heart. Nima, that's King Quan's divine servant, how dare he do it? However, King Quan didn't seem to be blaming. Instead, he looked curiously at the figure of Chumo and the servants fighting. Wow, see Gui, it's so pretty. King Quan watched the firework-like shockwave vibrate, and he couldn't help clapping the tambourine to learn, his small eyes tightly closed. Stare. Even the god attendant on the side had to retreat to the side, so as not to block King Quan from watching. Boom. A glittering light flashed by, and the void suddenly collapsed inward, and then shattered violently. For a time, the surrounding chaotic matter was violently torn by an outward force, and soon the deep void was deep. A spiral broken zone was blown up at the place. This is beyond the power of the god of destruction. With a bang, Chumo and the god attendant collided, and then stood hundreds of meters apart. The strength is really strong. Chumo held the wrist of his right hand with his left hand and shook his arm, feeling a little numb. These gods, who have never touched Ben in the anime, always have only one expression. Only obey the orders of the great priest and the king of all. Only now did Chumo know that these two were really powerful. With a sound of shoo, two lightning bolts shot straight out and shot towards each other. Bang! Deafening. The violent collision stirred the entire arena, and Chumo and the servant of God fought each other with one blow. They took countless steps back each other. Afterwards, they looked at each other, both showing fear and shock. Unexpectedly, you have the power to surpass the god of destruction. After a long silence, the servant suddenly said in a deep voice. You're not bad either. Chumo stared at the cold-faced god attendant. Not far away, Sun Wukong and others were already dumbfounded, and watched in horror as the battle between Chumo and the servant of the gods broke out. Horror effect, couldn't help swallowing saliva. It was so terrifying that any random blow they landed on them was enough to seriously injure them. How is that possible? I can't even see their movements. Shampa said with a shocked expression, and found that his own strength, in the eyes of the servant of God, was nothing at all. Chumo sneered and roared, the red golden arrogance on his body turned into grass green, and the outermost layer was a layer of crimson. Super Saiyan Legend Super Saiyan State. The sky-shattering momentum continued to surge, and two arrogances, one green and one red, made the arena begin to crack. Chumo's body also began to soar. The height of nearly 2 meters from the original soared to 3 or 4 meters. Muscle enlargement looks like a complete increase in strength. Good man, such a handsome man. Weiss, come together. Vados snorted softly, but she didn't expect that she could feel Chumo's muscle state. After speaking, Vados began to point the magic wand to the ground of the ring, and the silver lights passed from the magic wand to the ring. Let the ring seem to be injected with some energy. Weiss also followed, and pointed the magic wand on it. The two brothers and sisters began to reinforce the arena, instantly protecting the entire king in a huge enchantment. I didn't expect Chumo's strength to increase to such a level. This is the Super Saiyan God Jia Chuan Chao. Saiyan status. Vados seems to have seen something interesting. She didn't expect that she would use the form of Chaosai God to spread chaos. Saiyan transformation has such great power. See Gui, it's so beautiful. Chumo, come on. King Quan actually cheered up from Chumo, but Kaylin and others were speechless for a while. Please, anyway, That god attendant is also yours. Okay, so you don't care. However, when I looked at another god attendant again, I found that he still looked as if nothing had happened, as if nothing had happened. Did not happen the same. It seems to be used to this kind of situation. Chumo, who was in the super state of the super race, hurried forward, his body flickered, and he had appeared in front of the god attendant. Without needing too many words, Chumo took the initiative to attack. With a bang, the red and green arrogance floated, and a shattering chant sounded. In the face of Chumo's fierce attack, the servant of God seemed to be well prepared, and took a drastic step forward, moving towards Chumo. Stick out your arms. Bang. Two fists collided with 583, and a sharp whirlwind like a sharp blade spread close to the plane of the impact. Out, shocking the entire void. After the hurried blow, Chumo didn't think too much, but quickly got away, pulling away from each other quite far. Distance. Then stand opposite the servant of God, staring at the opponent. Sure enough, the strength of this god attendant is definitely not worse than that of Weiss. Shaking his slightly trembling arm, Chumo's expression became solemn. At this time, the servant of God was unwilling to be passive. I saw a lavender halo rolled up all over his body, and the whole person quickly disappeared from the place. Shish. Indistinct afterimages spread all over the line of sight. Chumo's golden eyes stared at the position where the other party disappeared, and the two eyeballs kept turning. The body suddenly moved, almost instinctively reacting, and the figure retreated along an arc. Then it was a little empty, and it had already leapt into the sky. Looking up high, the scenery below is unobstructed. But Chumo's opponent, god attendant, is also very strong. He had already come behind Chumo when he was imperceptible. The attack came from behind. Just when the attack was about to fall on Chumo, Chumo calmly settled down, and the corner of his mouth climbed up. Wiped the bend, and suddenly hit a qigong wave against the void in the opposite direction. Chapter 145, Friction according to the Servant of God. Dragon Fist. Unreservedly, the lifelike golden dragon soared into the sky, pierced through the void, and collided with the god attendant head-on. Wow, what a beautiful dragon! King Quan clapped his small palms and shouted excitedly. With a click, the space was shattered, and a short-lived flower suddenly bloomed in the void. The god attendant's reaction speed is also very fast. Almost at the moment of being attacked, his arms cover his chest, lavender. The fluorescence suddenly brightened. Reacted so quickly and took my dragon fist. Your strength is at least the 7th floor of the realm of gods. I just don't know how many times you can take my attacks. Chumo's handsome cheeks showed a hint of excitement, and he continued to wave his fists at the void. He has infinite energy. Even if he keeps blasting dragon fists, he will be fine. PFF'd. A substantive touch came from the tip of the fist, and an endless mist of water appeared in the sky, but it was this thin layer of mist. The water mist blocked Chumo's several attacks. Bang! 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 Boom! A violent explosion erupted from the impact again and again, and the air was extremely compressed and suddenly shattered. After a while, the sturdy arena began to become pitted, and thick and white microbes were rolled up with the violent strong wind. Dust. What a hassle, it's been destroyed again. Vados stomped his feet. Chumo is so bad. The figures of Chumo and the servant of God kept flashing, appearing and disappearing, making people dazzled. Even Shampa took a deep breath when he saw it. This strength has surpassed him by too much, making him feel ashamed. Chumo and God attendant punched each other again, and the two figures separated, but God attendant found that Chumo suddenly disappeared. When we met again, Chumo's figure had already come to him, and his big hand grabbed his head. Very dangerous. Subconsciously, the God attendant felt bad, but before he could react, he felt his body suddenly froze. Time pause os tilde. Chumo suddenly shouted out 4 words, and a golden light flashed. The servant felt like he lost consciousness for a second. Again. Weiss and Vados looked at each other and said in their hearts, "This Chumo is really courageous, but he controls time. Big sin." However, Chumo is not inferior to superpowers, so it still has a great effect on God. The god attendant paused, and suddenly felt that his head was caught by Chumo's big hand, before he could react. "Come, I feel my head touching the hard ring surface." Zizizi. Chumo grabbed the god attendant's head and pressed it directly on the ground, rubbing it on the ground, and when Lu rubbed it, bursts of sparks appeared. "It's the trick again." Hit looked at the chrysanthemum tightly, and it was this ruthless trick that made him have no resistance at all. Was brutally beaten. At this moment, the god attendant was also dizzy. After Chumo transformed into Xuanchao, his body's strength was surprisingly great. Grab his head, unable to move at all. Chumo seems to have the powerful force forcibly sealed the energy of the god attendant, constantly rubbing. Rub, rub, rub on smooth ground. The god attendant was angry, but there was nothing he could do. The other god attendant looked at it with fiery eyes, and wanted to set off to save his companions, but looked at the one beside him happily. King Quan, he held back his excitement. After rubbing for 10 seconds, Chumo felt a soreness in his hand. He was finally freed by the servant of God. Chumo paused and stared at the servant. And the servant of God did not continue to do anything, staring at Chumo fiercely. He knew that this opponent was not weaker than himself. How many? On the contrary, the opponent seems to be getting stronger and stronger. Originally, it was slightly inferior to the god attendant, but now Chumo is basically equal. With the ability of time and space, the god attendant has. More apprehensive. "Do you still want to fight?" Chumo said lightly. He felt bursts of excitement, and after transforming into a pass, although he was in a state of super competition, he still full of fighting spirit. "Just want to find someone to have a good ko-dun." Then Chumo took out a red spicy stick in his hand, slowly opened the package, and ate it. The faint and spicy taste immediately made everyone in the audience feel a sense of enjoyment. Especially Beerus and Elephant Pa. If King Quan was not here, they would have turned into hungry wolves to eat. The waiter was puzzled for a while. What does this guy want to do? Stop fighting. He was about to move on when he suddenly saw King Quan flying over. Yeah, it's so fragrant, and it has a strange taste. King Quan flew to Chumo, stared at the spicy sticks in Chumo's hand, and couldn't stop drooling. The servant of God didn't dare to do anything now, so he had to return to his original cold appearance, pretending that nothing had happened. In fact, apart from being pressed and rubbed on the ground by Chumo for a while, he had no other scars on his body. "Would you like to try it?" Chumo handed over a spicy stick, which was one of the most ways he had thought of, tempting with delicious food, then. Sure enough, it's half done now. "Well, can I?" King Quan was quite polite and asked carefully. "Of course you can, come." Chumo directly handed the spicy sticks to King Quan Wang's small hands. King Quan happily opened the package and took a bite. His face was overjoyed, and his whole body began to spin. Wow, delicious, spicy and springy. So delicious. King Jaeon was flying up and down, back and forth, left and right, and looked very happy. After a while, I finished eating a packet, and King Quan flew to Chumo again, very strong, and the little expression seemed to say, "I still need it." Beerus swallowed. He wanted to eat too. Shankpa licked his lips and shouted inwardly, "I want to." However, in front of King Quan, how dare they say anything? The kings, they can only look at King Quan with regret. Eat one piece after another. "Wow, it's delicious." King Quan shouted, and then saw Chumo hand over a glass of transparent and bubbling water. "What is this?" the king asked curiously. "Sprite. Come and try it, it's even cooler." Chumo laughed. King Quan tried to drink a cup, his eyes suddenly narrowed, and after drinking, he handed the cup over. 1 cup, 2 cups of county. Chumo simply took a large can of 500 liters directly to King Quan, this is for you. Wow, thank you, Chumo. King Quan narrowed his eyes, overjoyed. We are friends, of course we share good things together. Chumo smiled and said, the treacherous expression made the two god servants feel a bad feeling. But when King Quan was happy, they didn't dare to interfere. Chapter 146 Obtaining the Perfect Freedom. Friends. I have friends. When King Quan heard the words, he suddenly flew up, spinning around Chumo's body in circles and circles, very excited. Well, we're already friends, right? Chumo stretched out his right hand. King Quan also stretched out his right hand. Chumo's heart blossomed with joy, and then said, since we are friends, there is a fun game, no. No, if you are interested. Of course Chumo can't say, I want to stand on top of your head. King Quan is not a child, so let's play games. What game? Sure enough, the whole king was overjoyed. Not far away, Beerus and others seemed very happy to see Chumo and King Quan singing together, and they were immediately shocked. This guy is really different. Let's play a game of rock paper scissors. The loser has to let the winner stand on top of their heads for 10 seconds, how? Like. Chumo tried to say that he had already asked the system, and it only took 1 minute to complete it, and it didn't have to be done at one time. In this case, the difficulty is much less. Okay, come on. King Quan opened his eyes and shouted excitedly. This appearance suddenly made Vegeta and others speechless. Is this the most powerful supreme god in the entire universe? Is that what a child looks like? The game has started. Of course Chumo won't win at the beginning, losing 2 consecutive rounds of 707, and then starting 2 games. Lose, win rhythm begins. After all, King Quan was a child, standing on top of Chumo's head, still looking very curious and elated. Then he was very happy to let Chumo stand on top of his head. The 2 god attendants glared at Chumo, but Chumo ignored them, flew up carefully, and stood up slowly. On the big head of the fist. Oh yeah, Lao Tzu is now on the head of the most beloved god in the entire universe, who is handsome enough for Lao Tzu. Chumo really wanted to be hooked, but in order not to make King Quan feel something was wrong, he still endured it. Once. Twice. 3 times. Finally, Chumo has enough 6 times. The minute sign-in task is finally done. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the sign-in task and getting the sign-in gift package for this reward. Do you want to open the sign-in immediately? To the gift pack. Bullshit, turn it on now. Of course, Chumo didn't want to wait any longer. He started it immediately, and then told King Quan that the game was here for the time being. Quan Wong, who is having fun eating and playing, naturally obeys the words of Chumo, a good friend. Returning to the side of the god attendant, he began to lecture the 2 gods of destruction, Beerus and Champa. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully opening the sign-in gift package and obtaining the perfect version of Zizai Jigong. The system prompt made Chumo overjoyed. Mother, it was finally perfect. Master Quanwong, I don't know if you are here, what instructions do you have? The old king god Lean Beerus gave himself a wink, and hurriedly asked boldly. I saw you privately engaging in activities today, and I came here to remind the 2 of you that you don't need to do your assigned work. Oh, relax. King Jaeon looked at Beerus and Champa and said slowly. Yes, Lord Quanwong. I made you laugh, I'm so sorry. Beerus and Elephant had more sweat on their faces and their heads lowered. Lord Quanwong, listen to me, Lord Beerus is more interested in sleep and food than destruction. Whis suddenly complained to King Quan, which made Beerus sweat even more, and looked at Whis with a resentful face. Vados also had a bad smile on his face, pretending to be pitiful and saying, Master Champa is also, and it's been a long time. After exercising, his figure is seriously out of shape. The nutrition package I matched with him is still disgusted by Mr. Papa. Unpalatable, what a pity. Quote. Hearing Vado's words, Champa trembled even more. So scary. Isn't it because she dislikes the tasteless boiled eggs she made? Why do you hold grudges so much? After eating the instant noodles at Beerus, Jenka knew that it was the way the food was supposed to be. Food. Nutrition package, made by Vados before, it is really unpalatable like shit. So the elephant AIAF Pa got his appetite and planned to take the Earth of the 7th universe. What he didn't know was that even if he won, it would not be Beerus' turn to call the shots on Earth. Earth is now the only planet free from the control of Beerus, the god of destruction in the 7th universe. Hearing the complaints of the two siblings, King Quan suddenly said, "Then just change the god of destruction." Nani? When Bizons and Champa heard the words of King Quan, they were so frightened that they lost their souls. What King Quan said to replace the god of destruction was not just as simple as changing the god. That was straight up cleared. Say it. Seeing the terrified appearance of Brother Robiros, King Quan said with a mischievous expression. Oh. Really? The Beerus brothers were overjoyed. However, I still want to remind you that you must not forget your responsibilities and destroy those. Low-level planet. The king said softly. Chumo was taken aback for a while, but he never thought that this King Quan was still a perfectionist. Well, understand. Must be resolutely implemented. Beerus and Champa quickly responded. I saw your game and it was super fun, so I thought. King Quan looked like a curious baby, but Beeks was shocked. Don't think about it. It's a pity that Beps only dared to think so in his heart, but he didn't dare to say it. I've thought about holding a tournament like this for a while, bringing players from all the universes together. It must be fun. Well, that's it. The more King Quan spoke, the more excited he became, and his little face was full of anticipation. Yes, Lord Quanwong. Although Beerus and Champa were reluctant, they agreed on the spot in order to survive. Really, King Quan? Suddenly, another voice sounded, which immediately shocked Bebans and Champa. Nima, here comes another one. This Saiyan is really speechless. What the hell is Goku doing, this idiot? Beerus now just wants to knock Sun Wukong's head off to see what the hell this guy is pretending to be. If he angered King Quan, the 7th universe would be over, even Chumo would be useless. Hey, Sun Wukong, what are you trying to do? You have no right to speak to Lord Quanwong. Champa hurriedly reprimanded, for fear of angering King Quan by being too loud. However, Sun Wukong was still smiling, and even Chumo had to admire it. He himself knew the character of King Quan as a child, and he dared to do this because there was something to attract the other party. But Sun Wukong is like this, completely relying on the aura of the protagonist. Chapter 147 Super Dragon Ball. However, Sun Wukong is worthy of being the man whose halo of the protagonist never disappeared, and King Quan had a natural affection for him. King Quan actually passed the two god attendants directly, came to Sun Wukong, and said, the game just now was very good. What color? Hey, thank you, but the next match against other universes will be more exciting, you won't be disappointed. Sun Wukong patted the back of his head, Tilda Vice delighted expression. This fighting madman, when he heard that there will be a martial arts conference in 12 universes, Sun Wukong is excited, he can't do it. Really? That's really good, then I'll wait and see your fight. King Quan looked happy, looked at Sun Wukong, and then looked at Chumo, as if asking for Chumo's opinion. No problem. Chumo made an okay gesture, indicating that he accepted all the martial arts conferences in the universe. Well, then you will participate too. I think you are better than Beerus and the others. King Quan still looked at Chumo. If you think I can participate, that's fine. But the rules may be a little more complicated. Chumo said lightly, his current strength is comparable to that of Weiss, and letting him play is to directly let the 7th universe win. Win. Jiren is nothing but Beerus. Although he is a human who surpasses the god of destruction, Beerus is one of the top gods of destruction. No problem, I think your excellency the high priest will definitely make appropriate rules. The king looked very relieved. Then I'll go back and look forward to the next meeting. King Quan looked very happy, because Chumo gave him another big bag of spicy sticks and a Sprite of all-purpose capsules. There are tons of them in there. Seeing King Quan leave, the brothers Beerus and Champa finally breathed a sigh of relief. Then the two looked at Chumo and Sun Wukong with dissatisfaction. These two guys are really hateful. It almost didn't frighten the two brothers. Chumo, Sun Wukong, you two almost killed us all, do you know that? Beerus shouted frantically, looking like he was venting. But I look cute. Chumo smiled and didn't take Bizen's madness to heart at all. This guy is just complaining. Now that the martial arts conference of the whole universe is going to be held, he has to rely on himself. What about these people? Sun Wukong also scratched his head, and said with an embarrassed face, I also think the Quanwang people are very good, there is no such thing at all. How scary. Alas, the good mood of winning the game has been ruined by you guys. Beerus looked at Chumo resentfully, he couldn't beat this guy now, what else could he do? Champa also looked resentful, it doesn't matter if he loses or not. You two should thank me, look at what you did just now, you can't even say a sentence in a row, it's really lost. God face. I saved you, you have to thank me for it. Chumo smiled, and everyone saw the appearance of the two gods of destruction just now. But other people dare not make fun of the two gods of destruction, only Chumo and the two angels have this courage and strength. Sure enough, after hearing what Chumo said, the two Beerus brothers looked at each other and shook their heads helplessly. Forget it, what Chumo said was the truth, they were really embarrassed just now. Now you should think about the future of the All-Universe Martial Dao Conference, it's useless to tangle. Is about to be held. Chumo said lightly again. Yeah, winning or losing this time doesn't matter, Bipus wait, and the next All-Universe Martial Arts Conference. Immediately, Shankpa's mood improved again, and then he yelled at Hit and the others, you guys go back and give me a treat. Good practice, if you lose in the next martial arts conference, it will not be so cheap. The words were arrogant again. I said, Champa, can you speak well, since Hit and the others are encouraged to do their best, don't be afraid all the time. Scare them, you make me despise you. Chumo said coldly. It's up to you. Okay, I get it. You guys, work hard, win, what do you want? I promise you all, not destroying you. Seeing Chumo staring at him all the time, Champa feels uncomfortable, but his strength is not as good as others, what can he do? La. Moreover, now he really needs Hit and the others, without them, he will not know the next Universal Martial Arts Conference. How to do? Humph. It's long overdue to say that. It's so arrogant to be like that all the time. Flowers. Beerus is also a lesson in tone, it made Champa even more upset. I want you to take care of it. Don't care, don't care. However, should you fulfill your promise and hand over the 6 Super Dragon Balls? Bar. Bishops looked at Champa coldly, his brother was a tough talker. Got it, I'll give it to you. You can't find the 7th Super Dragon Ball anyway. Champa said indifferently, before he asked Vados to look for the 7th Super Dragon Ball, but he didn't find it. He didn't believe Beerus could find it. Not necessarily. Chumo said with a smile. Don't you know? Champa was shocked, it seemed impossible. Do you know, you'll find out in a while. Weiss, and this Miss Vados, please ask the two of you just now. Take out the planet you put away. Chumo said lightly, the nameless planet seemed to explode just now, but in fact, at the moment of the explosion, he felt. Here comes the actions of the two siblings, Weiss and Vados. You're very sensitive. Vados gave Chumo a white look, this guy is not bad, and very smart. The important thing is that muscle is manly. After speaking, Vados waved the magic wand in his hand, and a huge black hole appeared, the one that had exploded just now. The nameless planet appeared in front of everyone again. Didn't this just explode? Krillin and the others were stunned for a while. Guess. Chumo smiled, condensed an energy ball in his hand, and blasted directly at the huge nameless planet. Boom. I saw that the surface rock layers of the unknown planet suddenly began to crack. Cracks appeared, dazzling orange-red light. Monts emanated from the crack. This. Beerus is also blinded. This is really the 7th Super Dragon Ball. But for this 7th Super Dragon Ball, Champa has also been looking for it for several months. How did Chumo know that this was? What about Super Dragon Ball? Could this unnamed planet be the 7th Super Dragon Ball? Vegeta and others were also shocked. They never thought that this unnamed planet was actually Super Dragon Ball. It was so unexpected. Thank you so much for visiting 5G Small. Chapter 148 Summoning the Super Dragon. Haha, Champa, you really don't know what to say about your luck. The planet you chose didn't even know it was Super Dragon Ball. Ha ha ha. Beerus rolled on the floor with laughter. His stomach hurt. Elephant Paw face flushed red, and then angrily asked Vados, you didn't mean to find less than the 7th Super Dragon Ball. So what's going on here? Even if he can't find the 7th Super Dragon Ball, to actually let him be ridiculed by Beerus is even worse than losing. Forgive. I really didn't find it at the beginning, it's just that you were lucky, Mr. Champa, and you chose this Super Dragon Ball directly. As a playing field, I just found out when it was about to explode. To avoid Super Dragon Ball being destroyed. I just put it away after a lot of work with Weiss. Vados shook his head, she couldn't figure it out either. It can only be said that Champa's tens of millions of years of luck have been used here. Okay, let's go. Like Pa's speech, these 08 planets were indeed chosen by him, who can blame them? However, he didn't want to see the smug corner of Begis's mouth when he summoned the Super Dragon, so it would be better to leave early. Before leaving, Vados glanced at Chumo. This man was very interesting. On the 18th, I also saw Vados' eyes before leaving, and the smug look on the corner of his mouth was more subtle. It seems that this female angel. Soon too. Chumo, how do you know this planet is Super Dragon Ball? Sun Wukong expressed the voice of everyone. It's very simple, the size of this planet is about the size of those 6 Super Dragon Balls. And when fighting, I find it very firm, which strikes me as odd. In addition, I am more sensitive to the power of time and space. I have seen the movements of Weiss and Vados, so it is not difficult to guess when they are combined. Chumo said lightly, these reasons are of course not the most direct, but they are enough to explain. He couldn't say that he was a member of the Transmigration Army. Then how to summon the Super Dragon? He also said to Dragon Ball, come out, Shenlong. As a Dragon Ball fan, Bulma immediately became interested. Of course, this is the spell prescribed by the Dragon God. But the Super Dragon is made by the Dragon God, so the summon spell must also be uttered in the language of the gods. Weiss explained. When Chumo heard it, he couldn't help but pouted. This Dragon God has such a low taste, and this spell is not at all good at all. Weiss looked at Beerus and said, Lord Beerus, do you want to make a wish? I'll be there soon. The summoned dragon is here. Think about it, call the Super Dragon out. Bizons said directly. Yes. Weiss nodded, then flew to the 7 Super Dragon Balls and chattered for a while. Under everyone's expectant gaze, the 7 huge Super Dragon Balls exuded a burst of dazzling radiance. Sun Wukong and the others closed their eyes subconsciously. After a while, Shenhua came out, a huge golden dragon appeared. Super Dragon has a pair of huge golden bat wings. Between the wings, it suddenly opens its mouth wide and straight. Then swallow all the surrounding planets into your stomach. It also includes the cosmic cubes that everyone has together, and swallowed them together. This dragon is so big. Bulma, Kaylin and the others looked at the behemoth in front of them and were dumbfounded. The Super Dragon's body stretches for thousands of kilometers, and it looks extremely majestic. This is not the body of the super dragon. We are in the belly of the super dragon, its body is still. I don't know how many times bigger. Seeing Bulma and the others looking surprised, Weiss explained again. Isn't this what it is? Bulma and the others were even more shocked, their faces turned pale. How big are those super dragons? It is impossible to imagine. Beerus-sama, you can make a wish to the dragon. Any wish can come true. Weiss didn't say anything else, turned to Beerus and said. Beerus hesitated for a while, then looked at Chumo and then at Weiss. Why are you looking at me? What do you wish for? And what does it have to do with me? Chumo was speechless for a while, he is now receiving the reward from the system. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the sign-in task and getting a sign-in gift package. Do you want to open it immediately? The sound of the system sounded on time when the dragon appeared. Open now. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully opening the sign-in package and obtaining the SSS level immortality, which can be exempted from being punished by the Quanwang of obliteration. What? SS's level immortality. Exemption from being obliterated. Damn it, it's too awesome. Chumo was overjoyed, it seemed that he finally didn't have to worry about being eliminated by King Quan. Although the current King Quan is still able to speak, who knows what will happen later. With this SSS level immortality, Chumo doesn't have to worry about anything at all. In the end, Beerus told Whis what he had promised in the words of God. Oh hey, I didn't expect you to think of this wish, Beerus-sama. It's really surprising. Weiss looked at Beerus in surprise. Cut, stop chattering, make a wish now. Beerus turned his head away so as not to be seen by Whis and the others to reveal his true feelings. Although this guy like Pa is very annoying to 850, but the two of them are brothers after all, so naturally they want to help him. Down. Weiss just smiled, he was used to Beerus' duplicity. Then he turned around, facing the super dragon, and read out a bunch of words of God that Sun Wukong and others could not understand. The super dragon quickly replied to Weiss, wish, and then turned into 7 rays of light, which were sent to the 6th and 7th universes respectively. Fly in different directions. Chumo's body moved and suddenly flew over to cut off one of the super dragon balls. However, the power of this super dragon ball is very strong. As soon as Chumo came into contact with it, he felt a surge stronger than that of the gods. To come with a mighty force. Ah, ha. Of course Chumo wouldn't let it go, and just shouted and transformed. The red arrogance soared into the sky, followed by a burst of grass-green arrogance, too powerful. The arrogance merged. Chumo turned into a super sailing god, his body soared to 4 or 5 meters, and his hands firmly supported the super dragon ball. Trent. Zzz. Chumo felt that the starry sky was set on fire by the collision energy between him and Super Dragon Ball, 2 powerful forces. Quantity stalemate. Oh, what a rude fellow. Weiss watched Chumo stop the Super Dragon Ball and couldn't help covering his forehead. Chapter 149 The Mysterious Future Visitor. Chumo exerted all his strength, and his muscles exploded instantly, and every inch of it exploded and could almost be shattered. The energy of a galaxy. From a distance, a red and green figure like an ant closely follows the flight path of a gray planet. The trail was blocked, preventing it from advancing half a point. The starry sky turned red, emitting bursts of fiery breath, as if it had been cooked. Hoo-hoo, it's finally done. Chumo wiped the sweat from his forehead and stalemate for a few minutes before the Super Dragon Ball stopped flying. It was really powerful. Stop, Nima, this guy is too violent. Beerus was startled for a while, this dragon god was an ancient superpower. Although this Super Dragon Ball is only made by Dragon God, its power is very powerful, even if it destroys. God did not dare to rashly intercept this Super Dragon Ball's flight. It's really a headache. At the beginning, Lord Dragon God strengthened Super Dragon Ball just to prevent someone from doing this. The power of flight. However, it seems that it is still not enough. Weiss said lightly, although Chumo is similar to him in terms of strength, Chumo is obviously more powerful in terms of strength. Strengthen. After all, the muscles of this Super Saiyan are not meant to be seen. Vados, who was flying in 890, suddenly felt a sense, and the black beads on the magic wand suddenly kept flashing. Stand up. Then lightly, a projection appeared directly in front of everyone. I saw a beautiful blue planet appeared in the picture. Oh, Master Shangpa, look, the Earth of the 6th universe has recovered. Bardos said. What, really? Elephant Pa was overjoyed, looked at the projection, and saw a beautiful planet. This is our 6th universe. Like Pa voice trembling. Well, yes, this is the same food planet as the 7th universe. Oh hey, that's great. Vado's eyes suddenly flashed a light. If so, it would be great. Che, this guy Beerus is really superfluous. Shangpa said disdainfully, but his eyes were still fixed on the blue planet. Oh, well, so shall we go to Earth and see? Vados asked jokingly. Let's go and see. This time they can't let them destroy the Earth again, Ida. Shangpa pretended to be serious, but his eyes were looking in the direction of the 7th universe. Middle. Next, Chumo returned to Earth with number 18 and others, while Sun Wukong and Vegeta continued to destroy the gods. To accept Wes's guidance. After the discussion with the 6th universe this time, they learned that this world is very big, and there are 12 other planets, and each planet has a very strong master. There must be those who are more powerful than the god of destruction, so they must practice hard, and they also have the goal of Chumo. They can't even relax. A month later, Chumo was basking in the sun in the yard, looking happily at number 18 and Bulma. The three beauties of Kiki are discussing beauty matters. Suddenly, Chumo's eyes narrowed and he looked up at the sky. There are two unfamiliar auras appearing, and the strength is quite good. Chumo's eyes narrowed, and there was an aura that seemed familiar, but he couldn't remember where it was. Felt it. Hey. Suddenly a light group appeared in the sky, and then, a familiar machine appeared in Chumo's vision. In line. A time machine. Chumo was stunned for a moment. Isn't this a time machine that traveled with him to come here? But my time machine is only a one-time use. After coming to this world, it is completely scrapped, and it can no longer be used. Back to the future time and space. Although he has the ability to travel through time and space, but if he wants to travel to the time and space in 20 years, his ability is still can't do it. Kane can do it, but she wants to suppress those bad guys who make troubles in time and space, and she can't leave time and space at will. Temple. The most important thing is that the future space-time is already a new space-time point, and it will be the same when going back in the future. Time machine. Bulma and others also saw the time machine in the sky, and they were overjoyed. She had been studying the time machine that Chumo had brought back then. The one that came. But the damage was too serious to be repaired, and research work has been delayed. Now there is another one, but it makes her worry. Because the second person who came by the time machine was Trunks, but after the Sharu incident, Trunks went back. In the future time and space, it will basically never come back. Now. Suddenly, two figures appeared in the time machine. Trunks. This guy is back. Could it be? Chumo looked at Trunks' figure, then froze for a while. He felt the body of another little girl. To a very intimate feeling. It seems like a very close person. However, where did Chumo think of it? He only knew that the other party felt very close to him, as if he was his body. Part of the body. Mr. Chumo. Mom. Aunt number 18. Aunt Kiki. Trunks looked at Chumo with excitement, and then at Bulma and the other three, feeling very excited. However, right after that, he was shocked again, because he couldn't feel it from Bulma and Kiki. In its own strength. How is this possible? My mother has no fighting ability at all. There is also Aunt Chi-Chi, who basically has no fighting ability. But now. What is this situation? Just when Trunks was dazed, the little girl beside him said blankly, Trunks. Brother, have we really returned to the past? Ah, mother. When the little girl saw number 18, she suddenly cried out in surprise, her eyes filled with tears. On the 18th, her face was dazed, how could she become a mother herself? Seeing the figure of the little girl flying over, number 18 looked dazed, but he had a kind feeling in his heart. Let her open her hands to catch the little girl's body. You. No, 18 looked at the little girl in his arms in confusion. Black hair, about years old, with a ponytail, a beautiful face, and looks very alive. Splash cute. And take a closer look, on the 18th, I found that this little girl looks like myself. It's similar. It can be said that it is a miniature version of her. Husband, what's going on? I feel very kind to her. But I don't know what's going on. Quote. No, 18 didn't know how to explain. She had a very kind feeling for the little girl, but she was afraid that Chumo would misunderstand. Network. Remember me. 5GXS. Chapter 150 Black Goku appears. Don't worry, she is indeed your daughter, but also my daughter. Chumo walked over, holding number 18 and the little girl. As a traveler, it is naturally easier to accept the problem of this time and space. Moreover, as a god, he knew that he could not go wrong with his feelings just now. There is only one explanation for this, that this girl is indeed his daughter, but she has never followed the special. Lonks is back. What's your name? Chumo squatted down and wiped the dust off the little girl's face. The kind of intimacy that is connected by blood flow in his heart, this is his daughter. Are you dad? My name is Chu Schwexen. The little girl looked at Chumo closely. She could feel the intimacy of Chumo, which made her feel very comfortable. He couldn't help but put his little face on Chumo's chest. Tell me, what happened, okay? Chumo asked gently, then stroked her hair. Chu Schwexen, this name came from him as soon as he heard it, because he thought of this name a long time ago. Character. However, it was good that Chumo didn't ask. When he asked, Chu Schwexen started to cry, and his little face was full of grievances. Chumo had to pat Chu Schwexen's back slowly, comforting the poor daughter, feeling his heart. All seemed to melt. My dear, don't cry, Daddy is here. Dad, all the human beings in our time and space are almost killed, and my mother can't support it there. Hurry up and save Mommy. Chu Schwexen looked at Chumo, holding number 18 tightly with her little hand. Oh, good, good. We don't cry anymore. It's all right with Daddy here. Chumo felt his heart was broken when he saw Chu Schwexen crying. He had never felt this way before. At the same time, a sense of anger rose in my heart. He dared to treat his daughter like this, he would never let that go. Guy. Wait. That guy won't be Goku Black. Zamas. Damn guy, almost forgot about him. After a full half an hour, Chumo understood what had happened from Trunks' description. In the future time and space, Chumo also appeared, but for some reason, Chumo appeared in Chu Schwexen in the future time and space. 1 year before his death suddenly disappeared. No one knew where he went, but Chumo had given his name in advance before he disappeared. Therefore, Chu Schwexen has this name. I appear in the future. It's impossible, why don't I have this memory? Chumo was stunned for a moment. He hadn't planned to go to the future time and space yet. How could he be there? And Kane also said that she has never found Chumo's figure in other time and space, how can there be him? Appeared. Besides, the system will never be cloned. System, do you have a clone? Chumo tried to ask this ruthless system. No, this system is unique. The only explanation is that the host will go to another time and space in the future. A time-space disorder was created. Space-time confusion. Chumo felt a big headache. This time and space problem, even if Kane didn't understand it, he was even more unclear. Mr. Chumo, can you follow us to deal with that hateful mysterious man? Trunks asked expectantly. Chu Schwexen also stared at Chumo closely. This was one of their main goals. Originally, Trunks took Chu Schwexen to find his father Vegeta and son Wukong to deal with the mysterious human. But I didn't expect to meet Chumo in the past time and space. In this case, there is no problem. The feeling that Chumo brought to Trunks was stronger than that of son Wukong. My precious daughter said so, can I still refuse? Chumo smiled. Isn't it just a Zamaz, what's the problem? As soon as he finished speaking, Chumo suddenly looked up at the sky. The next second, the sky suddenly cracked, and then a black crack appeared. Then, a figure of Dao appeared in the sky, wearing a black tight martial arts uniform, and his appearance was exactly the same as that of Sun Wukong. Sample. Black Goku. Chumo noticed that the Black Wukong's finger had the same style as the ring of time and space on his finger. But the other party's is gold, and he is still purple. Trunks, you can't escape, this time I'm going to kill you. He Wukong sneered, his eyes fixed on Trunks and Chu Schwexen, full of murderous aura. It's you. How did you catch up? It's impossible. Flowers. Trunks' face was shocked, and then pulled out the sword of the hero behind him and pointed it in the direction of Black Goku. He didn't expect that when he traveled back to the past time and space, he was chased by the other party. This guy is so scary. I can go wherever I want. Don't think that you can escape from my pursuit by traveling through time and space. All human beings, damn it. Since the time and space over there is almost the same, it's time for this time and space now. Humans must be purged. The cruel look on Wukong Black's face, the killing intent in his eyes even radiated directly. Then he looked at the positions of Chumo and number 18 and others. Number 18, you are still alive here, just in time. You escaped from there just now. Killing you now is the same. Saying that, a black energy ball quickly condensed in his hand, raised it high, and prepared to blast it directly to the ground. Damn, this guy is so nasty. Trunks was about to rush forward with the sword of the brave. And Chu Schwexen in Chumo's arms trembled at the moment when Black Wukong appeared, and his face was grim. A piece of white. Chumo felt a pain in his heart. Damn, whoever you are, if you dare to scare my daughter today, you are doomed. Trunks, wait, let me do it. You are no match for him. Chumo said coldly, his eyes full of anger. Who are you? How come I've never seen you? He Wukong saw Chumo. He was immediately puzzled, because in his future memory, there was no Chumo's appearance. Now. Moreover, he felt the breath of the Silk God in Chumo. Is the opponent a god? Black Goku couldn't help but be startled, but soon returned to his ruthless color. Who am I? You don't need to know, you just need to know, you will be miserable. Dare to be disrespectful to my daughter. You must die. Chumo's icy eyes looked at He Wukong, and the killing intent in his eyes became stronger and stronger. You are her father. Impossible. Why is the future without you? Before He Wukong could finish speaking, he realized that Chumo had already come to him with a "huh" sound. You. He Wukong was so scared that he quickly stepped back and threw the black energy ball in his hand at Chumo. 9. Thank you for visiting 5G SmallNet. Remember me, 5G XS. Chapter 151 The Black Goku Who Was Tortured. The energy ball a few meters in size flew directly to Chumo, and He Wukong was proud for a while. Now you die. Before the words were finished, Chumo suddenly opened his mouth, a gust of wind hit, and the energy ball several meters in size went straight to the ground. Then twist up. In the end, it turned into a long energy bar, which was sucked into the stomach by Chumo, and not even a bubble appeared. Nanani. Baga, what is this? Black Goku was stunned. What kind of trickery is this? Nima actually swallowed it. He Wukong was completely frightened by Chumo's actions. Although not all of his power was blasted out, he was still stunned. It is also enough to destroy an Earth. It's gone, it's too scary. I'm looking for Mama. Black Goku's heart collapsed, but he was a god after all, and he quickly recovered. 037, wow, Dad is amazing. Chu Shuexin shouted, and there was no fear on her face. No, 18 is stroking her little head, feeling a little relieved. It seems that this is her love with Chumo. Crystallized. What? Are you so patient? Chumo looked at He Wukong coldly, showing a strange smile. He Wukong felt bad, just wanted to step back, but found that he couldn't move. Chumo's palm had already caught him. Brain. Why so fast? Before he had time to be shocked, Goku Black felt that he was falling at an extreme speed. Boom. With terrifying power, He Wukong's body was directly pressed by Chumo and hit the ground. Moment, a deep pit the size of several meters appeared in front of everyone. Cough cough. But it was accompanied by a mysterious force. Quantity poured out of the body. Bang. 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 He Wukong felt that he was about to die. His head was grabbed by Chumo, and then he kept hitting the ground. The bottom of the pit continued to deepen, and the Black Wukong's head began to bleed. The hard process of the earth in this time and space. It was really unexpected for him. Ha ha ha, you self-proclaimed god, how do you feel now? Cool, it will make you even better. Chumo grinned, grabbed He Wukong's head and stood up. God. You are in my eyes, but is a poor bastard. You are like an ant, even if I speak a little louder, I am afraid to blow you up. Chumo's disdainful tone made He Wukong so depressed he wanted to vomit blood, but the dizziness in his head made him unable to do so. Do it. After he finished speaking, he threw Black Goku directly into the sky, and hundreds of crimson lights shot out from the tip of his right finger. Death beam. Puff puff. A burst of red light beams like a Gatling machine gun directly penetrated Black Goku's body, instantly becoming riddled with holes. Stand up. He Wukong finally spit out a mouthful of blood, and his breath became sluggish. He looked like he was dying. Wow, Dad is amazing. He killed the bad guy at once. Come on, Dad. Chu Shuexin clapped her little hands and shouted excitedly. The Black Wukong had brought her a lot of fear over the past few years. There is someone who protects her. In the future time and space, she often heard her mother say that her father is very powerful. But she had never seen her father, because she was skeptical, and she didn't fully believe it until she saw it officially. Dad, that's awesome. Trunks is also blinded. How did Chumo's strength increase so much, when he was in Shalu? Wait, he hadn't realized that Chumo was so powerful. Moreover, the current Chumo has not transformed at all, it is completely normal, and he has completely abused this black enlightenment. Empty. Really, too strong. In this way, the future time and space will be saved. Chumo was just about to use another energy bomb to solve this Black Wukong, but suddenly he wanted to die. There seems to be an immortal Zamasu in the future time and space. Although I have the destructive attribute, Zamasu. His immortality was obtained from the Super Dragon, and even Beerus couldn't destroy him. I'm afraid it will break. Bad attributes can't destroy Zamasu directly, it's really troublesome, can't let this guy die. Chumo couldn't help but have a headache. Killing Wukong He was easy, but killing Zamasu was more troublesome. Can't let Black Goku die now. No way, Chumo had to use the healing ability to help the Black Wukong recover some injuries, and save the goods. What is dead? Mr. Chumo, this is. Trunks was confused by Chumo's operation, and this victory is not worth it. Or, Chumo wants to slowly torture this Black Wukong. Not quite like it. After a while, Black Goku finally recovered a lot of his injuries and stood up staggeringly. Hey, don't you dare to kill me. Goku Black grinned, very proud. You laugh, I just don't want you to die so happily. Heal you, and then maim you, it seems like this. It almost suits you better. Even if he couldn't kill this guy now, Chumo wouldn't make him too comfortable. Damn, you lowly creature dare to blaspheme the great god, you must not. He Wukong was furious, and what Chumo meant was the biggest insult to him. But before the words were finished, Chumo disappeared, and then He Wukong felt that his eyes were black, and he became hammer, generally, was pressed by Chumo to the ground and kept hitting the ground with bang bang bang. He is so pitiful. Chu Shuexin suddenly couldn't bear it. The pit was already dyed red by the blood of He Wukong. But he just can't die. Every time he hammered, Chumo threw a green healing energy ball to heal He Wukong's injury. Half. Then there was another, bang bang bang, and the ground began to vibrate. He Wukong's bones were all smashed by Chumo, and then he was healed. The pain during the period made him unable to. Broke screamed loudly. However, Chumo 4.1 for without scaring his future daughter, he directly released an enchantment, turning the voice. Blocked. Goku Black is angry, but more fearful. Although his strength has increased a lot because of this, facing such a savage man, I feel so painful. He Wukong wanted to struggle, but in terms of strength, he was not an opponent at all, and his head felt like he had been smashed to pieces many times. But every time he was rescued. Now He Wukong feels that his brain has a pile of pits, and even he feels that he has lost his mind. What a terrible enemy. But you can't resist, you can't resist. Not to mention, escape. He Wukong was ravaged by Chumo for 3 full hours, and the big pit on the ground has turned into 100 meters. Size. Chapter 152 Kill you, so what? How is it? How much stronger are you now? Isn't it cool? Chumo's body fell heavily from the sky, and his right foot directly stepped on He Wukong's face. Fuck, keep talking about lowly human beings. You are not parasitic in the human body now. Zamaz, do you think you can hide from me? Chumo said coldly, but this sentence shocked He Wukong for a while. This was his biggest secret. People know. Hey, what if you know about it? You dare not kill me. He Wukong showed a miserable smile, his mouth was full of blood, his face was full of shoe prints, and he looked very pitiful. Really? Do you really think I dare not kill you? Chumo's right hand condensed a terrifying energy wave, and the breath emanating was terrifying. If you kill this, it's a big deal to find a chance to learn the magic seal wave, and if you can't kill Zamaz, you will seal him. Then throw Zamaz into the cesspool and let him feel what is really better than death. Threatening him does not exist. Kill. Nani. Feeling the horror of the energy ball in Chumo's hand, He Wukong's body trembled, and his face was pale. Even if you take up Sun Wukong's body, but you were beaten like 08 dogs by me, you are very unwilling now. Bar. Trash is trash, no matter whose body you use, it is trash. Where is the dignity of your god? Go. Chumo said coldly. Ah, damn human, I won't let you go. Goku Black's voice sounded angrily, and his body began to struggle violently. But no matter how he struggled, Chumo's feet were like megaliths of millions of tons, unmoved. Struggling is in vain at all. Mr. Chumo, kill him quickly. He has the ability to travel through time and space. Trunks hurriedly said loudly that victory was coming. Did you hear? You must die. Chumo said coldly, and the energy bomb in his hand slammed down directly. Huh, anyone else? At the moment of the bang, Chumo suddenly frowned, and the space under his feet suddenly cracked, revealing a deep. The space is like a huge mouth. Hey! Chumo's body bounced up, avoiding the space-cracking blade sneak attack. The terrifying energy bomb was swallowed directly by the space crack, and the dying Black Goku disappeared on the ground. Gone. Boom. There was a violent vibration. Although the cracks in the space were quickly closed, the terrifying energy fluctuations still caused the world outside. The world trembled. Rescue. Want to go. It's not that easy. Chumo snorted coldly, and the figure immediately disappeared in place. Dad. Chu Shuexin shouted. It's okay, your dad is going after the bad guy. We'll just have to wait for good news from him. No. 18 touched Chu Shuexin's hair and said softly. There is still someone to save this mysterious man. Who is it? Trunks was puzzled for a while. He had only met Goku Black in the future, and he never knew that there were. What about his accomplices? At this time, in the colorful space tunnel, Chumo stood up and looked coldly at the two figures in front of him. One of them is Fu, who has not been seen for a long time. He was originally blind in one eye, but now he has recovered. Behind him is Black Goku, who was beaten to the brink of death. Although he was seriously injured, his eyes were still so impressive. Disgust. The defeated generals still dare to show up. It seems that you are recovering well. Chumo said coldly, and then carefully read a lot. Fu, this guy is worthy of being the strongest product in the demon world, and his strength has risen again. Big cut, Chumo still feels out of touch. Grip better than this guy. Thanks to you, I've suffered a lot these days. But now I feel great. Flang sneered, but the killing intent under the smile had already been vented. But he, like Chumo, was completely unsure of winning. Compared to the last time, Chumo's strength this time completely shocked him. This kid's progress is so fast, I should have killed him a few years ago. Fu felt a burst of regret in his heart, and now he has no advantage over Chumo. Chumo didn't speak, his figure flashed, his palms changed into claws, and the powerful chi formed a giant transparent energy claw. Grab hard to Black Goku. It's not that easy. Fu directly threw an energy bomb and slammed into the giant claw. Boom. The powerful energy collided violently, and the entire space tunnel shook suddenly, as if it was about to collapse. General. Bang. Bang. The figures of Chumo and Fu both shook back hundreds of meters, then disappeared again, and the two did not attack with energy. Directly start the body attack collision. Disappear. Reappear. Disappear again. Reappear. Every collision was a violent vibration, and the entire space began to vibrate violently, shaky. The two stopped at the same time, and hundreds of space-cracking blades continued to blast towards them. Chumo is directly with both hands, and a huge black hole is formed, directly swallowing all the terrifying space-cracking blades. Devoured. Fu, waving the purple lightsaber in his hand, constantly blocked the incoming space crack. After a few minutes, the two faced each other again. It seems that you can't leave us today. Fu smiled smugly. I didn't want to kill him at first, it was just to scare him, I didn't expect to catch you. 27 big fish. Chumo said lightly, killing He Wukong would have nothing to lose to him. It's just that I just want to abuse this guy, so that he doesn't think that God is amazing every day. Now that this guy has been abused so badly by him, Chumo is also angry. It's okay not to kill him, go to the future time and space, and solve it better. Chumo didn't say anything. He put a layer of space-time power on his hands, and then tore the space crack open and walked straight away. Out. Continuing to fight is nothing but a stalemate and a waste of time. Come on, let's get out of here too, or it will be troublesome to lose the space. Fu said lightly, grabbed Wukong He's shoulder, cut through the space tunnel and walked out. Mr. Chumo, that mysterious man. When Trunks saw Chumo's figure, he immediately rushed up and asked. Escape. Chumo said simply, with an indifferent attitude. Escape. That future that. Chu Shuexin was stunned for a moment, and suddenly became worried. Okay, don't worry about this. He was seriously injured, and he won't get better soon. What will be the problem? Chumo touched Chu Shuexin's little head and comforted. Leave him a dog's life, and I will go to the future time and space with you in the future, and it will be better to deal with him. Chapter 153 What is the God of Destruction? I said it. Really? That's great. Mom must be happy to see Dad. Chu Shuexin shouted with joy. However, looking at the number 18 beside her, Chu Shuexin suddenly froze for a while. Two mothers, what should I do then? Don't worry, it's your mother, both. When Chumo looked at the little guy's eyes, he didn't know what she was thinking, and comforted him. 218 feet s. Hey, won't this feel very cool? That sexual bliss was coming, and that feeling was certain it was wonderful. No, 18 looking at Chumo's wretched smile, I don't know what he is thinking, and throws a beautiful eyebrow. Past. Chumo is smiling, the meaning is obvious. Not long after, a few figures of Shoo Shoo suddenly appeared. It was Monkey King, Vegeta, Whis, and Beerus. People. Where's the man? Where's the guy who looks like Kakarot? Vegeta asks Trunks directly as soon as he sees it. Dad, that guy was beaten away by Mr. Chumo. Trunks saw Vegeta again, and his eyes instantly became wet. Trunks. Vegeta stammered. He was not good at expressing his feelings, and he didn't know what to say for a while. Yes, I'm back. Because another powerful enemy has appeared in the future time and space, I'm not right. Had to come back for help. Saying that, Trunks lowered his head. He knew that Dad Vegeta didn't like weakness, so he was very embarrassed. Cut, it's alright. Tell me what happened just now. Vegeta glanced at Chumo and knew that she had asked too much just now. With this guy here, who can be proud? And if Chumo can't beat it, then it's useless for him to come. It's like this. Trunks nodded excitedly, then explained again what had happened. The guy in the future is really exactly like me. Long. Sun Wukong was speechless for a while. Is he really handsome? Why did you guys come back? Haven't you been destroying Shengsheng's cultivation all the time? Kiki asked. Bulma informed us just now, so Kakarot just teleported back. Vegeta snorted, annoyed that she didn't catch up with what happened just now. However, Sun Wukong was excited. It's clear he'd love to fight a guy who looks just like him. I want to punch this guy like Kakarot, it must be fun. Vegeta had a happy look on her face. She waved her fist, and the corners of her mouth raised. Hey, Vegeta, your eyes are so evil, you must be trying to beat me. Sun Wukong is not stupid and immediately doubts Vegeta's true purpose. He's not you, I'll beat him up and take care of you. Vegeta snorted coldly. Trunks, don't need Chumo and Kakarot, this time as long as I go out. I will definitely go to you. The future time and space defeated that guy. Vegeta clenched her fists with confidence. After this period of training, Vegeta's strength has increased several times, so she is full of confidence. Vegeta, it's not your business this time. Monkey King said dissatisfiedly, this guy actually wants to monopolize his opponent, it's too hateful. Trunks looked very embarrassed and said hesitantly, Dad, the mysterious man's. The strength is very strong, except for Mr. Chumo, it is difficult for others to deal with him. The implication is that neither Vegeta nor Sun Wukong is the opponent of the mysterious man. Although Trunks felt that his father and Sun Wukong were very powerful, he felt that this was not enough. Defeat the mysterious man. Although it was a kind word, in the ears of the arrogant Vegeta, it was a distrust of him, and he directly retorted. What do you know? Our current power is not what you can imagine. Vegeta is very impatient. No matter how powerful the guy who looks like Kakarot is, it is impossible for him to be super talented. Blue State opponent. If Vegeta is going, then I'm going too. The future must be very interesting. Sun Wukong said excitedly. Hey, you guys like this, don't you look down on me, the god of destruction. But Bizons was not happy. These guys actually left him here, openly discussing the need to travel through time and space. You must know that the god of destruction is not only about destruction, but also has to manage things that violate the management of time and space. After all, it is impossible to rely on a god with little attack power like Kaiwang God. As for the King of Time Realm, there are too many things to do, and it is even more busy. Oh, you can't travel through time and space at will, that's a crime, and Lord Beerus is the most. The righteous God will not let you do this. Whis smiled peacefully and ate the grilled squid by the way. Although the tone is peaceful, the attitude in it is firm, no crime. Vegeta and Sun Wukong were stunned for a moment, they really didn't think about this problem. Bulma was dissatisfied. Lord Bizons, you have eaten so much delicious food, can't you understand? Melt it. It is said that eating people's mouths are short, these two are good, and I don't say anything about eating, I am not at all embarrassed. Dad, Trunks asked in confusion. The last time he came back, he never saw these two strange guys. Chu Shuexin was also at a loss. She had never seen these two guys in the future. Well, he is the most powerful god of destruction in our universe, Lord Bizons, he is the Angel Weiss, and his strength is very strong. Awesome. Vegeta introduced it, but her expression was quite normal. With Zhao, Dad, what about the future time and space? Chu Shuexin asked in a low voice, with a worried face. It's alright, there's Dad here, I'll just say it. Chu Mo said aggressively. Hey, Beerus, I'm the only one who manages time and space. It's up to me to say whether I commit a crime or not, but that's not the case. Defined. Chu Mo said towards Beerus, his tone was a little less friendly. Well, that seems to be the case too. Forget it, I don't care. Bulma, give me another 100 pairs of grilled wings. Beerus was at a loss for words, so he had to let Bulma take 100 pairs of grilled wings and let him eat to vent his anger. Can't beat it, let alone, Chu Mo is more authentic than his position. What more can he say? After all, the other party is the king of the realm of apprenticeship. Moreover, depending on the situation, it is no different from the official one. The realm of time is his woman, who would dare to say that what he did was wrong? Network. Remember me. 5GXS. Chapter 154 Beerus, it's time to work. Forget it, let me give you a clue, Beerus. The breath of that guy just now, I am in the 10th universe. I felt it in the body of the apprentice king god Zamasu. You can go check it out. Chu Mo felt that it was better to find something to do for these two foodies, so as not to have to do nothing on Earth. Moreover, these two are not Earthlings, and there is no self-consciousness of eating people's mouths, which makes Chu Mo feel very uncomfortable. He will not be like Monkey King and others in the anime, and he will ask these two foodies to open up pitifully. One side. He manages time and space, and he is investigating this, who dares to say no? Wukong, if your hands are itchy, you can go there with Weiss and the others. You can practice your hands there. Chu Mo smiled at Sun Wukong. The appearance of Black Wukong is because Sun Wukong followed him to the realm of the King of God in the 10th universe, and followed Zamasu. Met. And the two also had a fight, which led to Zamasu being more interested in Monkey King, and then couldn't help summoning. The Super Dragon came for a body swap. Therefore, Chu Mo naturally has to abide by the principle of time and space, and let Sun Wukong continue to go to the 10th universe 143 universe. Sure enough, when he heard that there was a fight, Sun Wukong was immediately excited. The opponent of the 10th universe. Great, I'm going. Sun Wukong shouted excitedly. Weiss glanced at Chu Mo and said lightly, then go have a look, Lord Beerus. Let's go. Bizons was embarrassed when Chu Mo looked at him. He had eaten so much from others, so he always had to do something. Vegeta also wanted to go, but after looking at Trunks and Bulma, she still didn't go. I had to watch Sun Wukong, Whis, and Beerus leave the Earth. This Bedian has begun to change, it's family-oriented, and it's pretty good. Looking at all this, Chu Mo smiled slightly, this Vegeta has been influenced by the family. No one knows if this is good or bad. Perhaps, Vegeta will become stronger because of family reasons, maybe. Chu Mo watched Vegeta's family of 4 leave, and then looked at Kiki, who went home alone, and sighed inwardly. Looking at the little princess Chu Shuexin with a happy face. He never thought that he would meet his future daughter in advance, which is really incredible. The two couples took Chu Shuexin back to the house, and immediately asked the servants to bring a lot of food. Perhaps because of his Saiyan bloodline, although Chu Shuexin was only 10 years old, his appetite was quite ordinary. Maybe it was because he hadn't had enough food for a long time. Chu Shuexin was surprised and rushed over. No, 18 looked at the little princess tenderly and put Chu Mo aside. Delicious. It's delicious, I haven't eaten such delicious food for a long time. Chu Shuexin grabbed a dinosaur leg in one hand and a pterosaur wing in the other, and ate it. Chu Mo felt very uncomfortable watching from the side. He didn't expect his daughter to be so hungry, and clenched his hands tightly. Fist. Zamath, inexcusable, you are dead. No. 18 also wiped off the oil from Chu Shuexin's mouth with a distressed face, and then said coldly to Chu Mo, old man. Man, you know what to do. Never let that guy go. No, I'm going to, I want him. Get a hard beating. No, 18 was very angry, she hadn't been this angry in a long time. Okay, let's take a time travel together as a family of 3. Chu Mo smiled slightly, and there was a trace of killing intent in his eyes. Then, Chu Mo summoned his second wife, Kain. Why, husband, I haven't woken up yet. Kain's sleepy eyes made Chu Mo laugh. Wife, use your ring of time and space. My ability is not enough. Chu Mo said directly. Why do you want the ring of time and space? Kain yawned and asked. Chu Mo said what happened during the day, and then said that he was going to the future time and space. No problem, help me beat that Zamasu hard, what a scum, and through the face of our gods. Kain's little face suddenly froze, and said viciously. Then he took off the golden space-time ring in his hand and handed it to Chu Mo. Anything that violates the laws of time and space is not as important as her husband. Okay, it must be fine. Chu Mo smiled slightly, then hugged the sexy image of Kain. My wife gives I have so much benefit, now. It's my turn to comfort you, hee. Bad husband, it must be Lazili who won't accompany you, you're just doing me wrong, aren't you? Seeing that the 18th was not here, Kain knew that she was with the future daughter, so Chu Mo was doomed to be lonely tonight. Unbearable. The next day, early in the morning, Chu Mo got up refreshed. After having breakfast, he said to number 18 and Chu Shuexin, come on, 2 babies, let's go to the future together. Time and space. Dad, didn't you wait for Brother Trunks? Chu Shuexin asked with a puzzled face. No, 18 said softly, let's go first, they can go in a time machine. The time machine can only take 4 people, Chu Mo didn't want to crowd together. Chu Mo embraced number 18 and Chu Shuexin, and then began to sense Chu Shuexin's future aura, and suddenly squeezed his right hand. The golden rays of light shot out, wrapping the bodies of the 3, and finally disappeared in place. In the future time and space, almost all cities have been turned into ruins. Time wasted. The whole earth is dead, and there is no trace of life. 2 figures appeared in the sky, looking down at the ruined cities below, with proud smiles on their faces. One of the guys with green skin and a white punk head on his head is Zamasu. The other is the Black Wukong that everyone is familiar with. Although he was beaten to death by Chu Mo yesterday, he is still in the dark. Under the treatment, he recovered quickly, and his strength increased greatly. I didn't expect you to be here. Oh, no, there should be another me. Black Goku smiled. We are one, you are me, I am you, what is the difference between each other? Zamasu also had a wicked smile on his face. Yes, that guy from the demon world is quite good. It seems like a good choice to cooperate with him. He Wukong suddenly laughed, however, he wants to order me, that's a joke. Yes, it is impossible for us to be controlled by him. We are the only gods. Thanks for visiting 5G Xiao Network. Remember me, 5GXS. Chapter 155 You should wake up from your dreams. What a beautiful world, it's so comforting to look at this beautiful land. Zamas was intoxicated, opened his arms, and closed his double limits. Yeah, it's just a pity that it has been defiled by those filthy humans for so long, making this beautiful land lost. Gone the original aura. The corners of Black Wukong's mouth were also raised, and there was a trace of unhappiness in his happiness. Don't worry, this land will be cleansed soon. Zamas sneered. It's a pity that Trunks can't see this feast, and that little girl, what a pity. Hey, Wukong said coldly, thinking of those two little devils. He thought of the one that made him suffer greatly both physically and mentally. Humiliated bastard, Chumo. Don't worry, there will be a chance. I think it must be more painful for them to come back to see such an earth. Zamath's mouth curled into a cruel smile. Come on, let me ruin this place. After speaking, Black Goku raised his palms high, and a terrifying black energy ball condensed. Zamas also raised his right hand high, and a dark green energy ball condensed from his hand. Come on, let's start our Human Zero project. The two glanced at each other, the corners of their mouths raised at the same time, and they blasted the energy ball in their hands towards the ground. I'm not going to let you destroy the earth, you damned ones. A figure appeared on the ground and shouted angrily towards Zamas and Black Goku. With blonde hair and an alluring face, she is number 18, one of the most beautiful protagonists of Dragon Ball. She directly condensed two powerful energy bullets and blasted Zamasu and Black Goku with all her might. Boom! A terrifying explosion sounded in the sky, and the whole earth was shaken violently. However, the figure of number 18 was also knocked out by the powerful energy fluctuation, and flew directly out several kilometers away. You finally appeared, damn human woman. If it weren't for this method, I really couldn't find you. Hey, Wukong said fiercely, his eyes showing a strong killing intent. Haha, a mere ant is also delusional about going against God. It's too much. Zamas also laughed with a look on his face, and did not pay attention to number 18 at all. Go on, goddamn human woman, I hate you when I see you. Black Wukong saw number 18, he remembered Chumo he met in the past, and became more and more angry. Once again, a powerful energy ball was condensed in his hand, which was hundreds of meters in size. The terrifying energy directly scraped off a thick layer of the Earth's surface. Although number 18 has the top strength of Super Saiyan 3, he is still far behind Zamas and Black Goku. Many. It's over, Chumo, where are you? I can't keep the Earth. It's really over this time. On the 18th, looking at the terrifying energy ball in the sky, a burst of despair struck in his heart. With such a powerful energy, she is no match at all. Schwexen, mother can't take care of you anymore, you have to learn to take care of yourself in the future. Chumo, if you come back, must find our daughter. No, 18 closed her eyes in despair, and this time she really couldn't stop it. Hey! At this moment, a soft sound moved. Number 18 feels like he is in a warm embrace, a very familiar, yet unfamiliar one. Why, this gave up. This doesn't look like the Razari I know. A familiar voice rang in his ears, and number 18 suddenly opened his eyes with a happy expression. Husband. No, 18 hugged the owner of this voice tightly, his face full of excitement and joy. 10 years, 10 years. You're finally back. On the 18th, I was very happy, and I burst into tears in the arms of Chumo, as if to want to feel the grievances of these years. All cry. Then, number 18 stopped crying and hit Chumo with a knee. Bang. Wow, wife, what are you doing? Chumo clutched his chest. Nima, did Lao Su suffer from domestic violence? Humph. If you didn't come back for so long, the old lady almost died. Also, did you see our daughter? No, 18 has a very angry expression, but the tenderness in his eyes cannot be concealed. Don't worry, Schwexen is fine. Look, who is that? 18 who is holding Chu Schwexen not far away. 18th of the future time and space has also merged with the 18th of a different time and space, so for another self to appear. Not much of a surprise. Ask for flowers. Mom, I brought my dad back, it's amazing. Also, another mom is here too. Chu Schwexen said excitedly, sticking out her little head from number 18 feet's arms, very cute. Well, my baby is really amazing. The future number 18 flew over, touched Chu Schwexen's little head, and then said hello to number 18. Thank you so much. It's not hard work, it's you who work hard. After speaking, the two women looked at each other, laughing, hugging each other tightly. Husband, I leave it to you, don't be soft. No, 18 looked at Chumo, then dragged number 18 and Chu Schwexen to the distance, waiting for Chumo to solve the opponent. Don't worry, it's fine. Chumo made an, okay, gesture, then looked at Zamas and He Wukong coldly in the sky, and said in a cold voice. You two, how do you want to die? Damn, you're chasing after you so quickly. Black Goku looked angry, but did not act immediately. In other words, since the moment Chumo appeared, his heart has become heavy. So never got around to it. He knew very well that even if he became much stronger now, he would still not be Chumo's opponent. The feeling of despair that made him feel particularly strong only in Chumo. It's this guy who messed up your plans. Zamas said coldly, but don't worry, this time there will be no problem. Even if he's strong, it will not be our opponent. Well, this time we're going to kill him and let him know what it's like to go against God. Black Goku's face stretched out, they joined forces, who else is their opponent? Two arrogant gods, are you still dreaming? Suddenly Chumo's icy voice came from the top of Zamas and He Wukong's heads, and the two gods were shocked. Shock. You. Zamas was stunned for a moment, he didn't see how the other party came to the top of his head, the speed was too fast. Before he could finish speaking, Zamasu's body crashed directly into the ground like a meteor fell to the ground. Chapter 156 God, it's so poor. Chumo flashed over to Zamas's head in an instant, and a heavy artillery thigh hit Zamas's head directly. The huge force directly slammed Zamasu down. What's the matter? Before Zamas could understand what was going on, his body slammed into the ground. He Wukong suddenly became angry when he saw it, raised his feet, and quickly swept towards Chumo. Before getting close, the powerful momentum has already sealed the surrounding space into a solid state. I can't believe that your combat effectiveness has improved a lot. Chumo sneered, the current Black Goku probably has the full power of Super Saiyan 4. But this kind of combat power is really not enough for the current Chumo. Chumo didn't dodge, he rushed forward, grabbed He Wukong's heel, and threw it violently. Hey! 363, Black Goku also turned into a falling meteor, crashing directly into the ground hundreds of meters, the entire ruins. The city seems to have been shaved off a layer, and the surface layer has dropped by more than 10 meters, forming a huge deep pit. Damn, how dare you! Zamas roared furiously and was about to struggle. But as soon as he got up, before looking up, Zamas felt as if he had been run over by a super heavy truck. Go General! In an instant, his head came into contact with the ground again. Bang! 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 Chumo kept stepping on Zamas's head with his feet, making Zamas' handsome face constantly intimate with the ground. Contact, making a loud noise. The earth was shaking, as if crying out for Chumo's cruelty. Great God, do you feel particularly refreshed now? Being able to have a zero-day relationship with the earth that you feel most intimate with. Contact. How can you be trampled on like this by a human you always thought was an ant? Isn't it, you? The dignity of God has already cried in the toilet. Chumo said with a playful expression, his eyes showed disdain. As soon as the soles of his feet exerted force, Zamasu's face continued to make intimate contact with the ground. Zamas was depressed and wanted to shout, but unfortunately his strength was not strong enough, and he was kicked by Chumo again. Step on one foot after another. Lowly human, take your stinky feet away, you completely pissed me off. Zama's roared angrily at Chumo's feet. He was trampled underfoot by a damn ant, and he was powerless to fight back. Shame. This is a great shame. This shame must be washed with the blood of this ant. No, it took all the blood that was sprayed to calm his mood. Tisk tisk, as expected of a god. Even the threatening tone is different. Chumo shook his head, with a look of disgust on his face. Nima, you have been trampled by Lao Su, and you dare to be so arrogant, you are really not afraid of death. Hey, Nima, he is really not afraid of death. With the immortality given by the super dragon, even if the whole king is cleared, it is basically impossible to really kill this thing. Just when Chumo deserted, He Wukong, who was thrown hundreds of meters underground by him, rushed up. Seeing that Chumo is using this trick to step on another's handsome face, it's true that my aunt can bear it, but my uncle can't bear it. Immediately condense both hands, a terrifying energy bomb, which is a bombardment towards Chumo. After seeing that Chumo was in a dangerous situation, Chu Shuexin quickly shouted. But Chumo didn't pay attention to it at all. He didn't even bother to look back and let He Wukong's energy bomb on the back. PFF'd. The terrifying energy bomb exuded bursts of powerful momentum, but as soon as it touched Chumo's body, it sent out a sullen breath. Ring. He Wukong's smile was stunned, because his strongest energy bomb was even worse than a fart, like a stone sinking. Like the sea, it was directly swallowed by Chumo. The energy-devouring skill of Super 17, Chumo is basically not afraid that the energy is not as good as his own Qigong cannon. Stuff. How much to come, how much I suck. It's this trick again. He Wukong was shocked. He had encountered it in the past time and space, but he thought that his strength was greatly increased now, and he blasted it out. The energy bomb must make Chumo jealous. But it turns out that he was wrong, and he is still so stupid. So weak. Not even strong enough to defend the opponent. What an annoying ants. Chumo glanced at He Wukong in disgust. His right foot suddenly swung high, as if he was playing football. Boom. Zama's underneath was like a football, and was kicked out by Chumo and smashed into a building with tens of thousands of meters. Big mountain. Then Chumo's figure flashed directly to He Wukong, hand grabbed He Wukong's head, and the other. The palm of the hand is directly facing Black Goku. A terrifying energy wave blasted out directly. Boom. The energy wave exploded directly, blasting Black Goku's body into the air. Zamasu's head. The two big heads collided heavily, and a crisp sound suddenly sounded. Zamasu and He Wukong's heads suddenly got a big bag, and the two of them staggered and stood up while covering their heads. His face was solemn. They never imagined that they would be treated like this by an ant. This is absolutely unforgivable. The two over-perfectionists stood up again and stared at Chumo sternly, as if they wanted to look straight. Then swallowed Chumo. What are you staring at? Come again if you don't agree. You are not an ant in my eyes, garbage. Chumo hung in the air, looking down at the two of them with disdain in his eyes. Damn ants. Damn you. Zama's clenched his fists. Chumo was even more arrogant than him. He has always been the only one who can show up in front of others. Anteriorly stretched. Go to hell. Black Wukong once again condensed a black energy ball dozens of meters in size, and the terrifying energy was released, making 3.9 side of the ground sank by more than 10 meters in an instant. Zama's face also sank, and then he condensed a dark green energy bomb more than 10 meters in size. The two raised their hands at the same time and hung the energy ball. The movements of the two were exactly the same, as if they were the same individual. Give me a complete disappearance. He Wukong and Zamasu roared at the same time, and slammed the energy ball in their hands towards Chumo. Beyond your own power. Chumo sneered, opened his mouth, and a powerful hurricane surged in an instant. The two energy balls of more than 10 meters in size seemed to be pulled by a huge force and became slender. He got up and flew towards Chumo's mouth. Hey! Hey! A minute later, the two huge energy balls disappeared completely, and Zamasu and Black Goku were dumbfounded. Chapter 157 Hit you until you want to die. Nice attack. Any more? Go ahead, I'll wait. Chumo smiled lightly with a playful look on his face. Zamasu and Black Goku are both bad, can they still fight like this? Is this the power of God? What a mess. Then his arms vibrated violently, sending the two guys flying hundreds of meters away. Unstoppable. Zamasu was furious. Jing dared to look down on the power of God, damn ant. Saying that, a powerful black and white energy arrogance rose from the whole body, and directly attacked Chumo again. Go. Just continue to be mad, and you'll know how powerful God is in a moment. Black Goku clenched his fists and said coldly. Do whatever you want, you just do it. Chumo said disdainfully. The reflex was a punch, which smashed Zamasu out. Comes fast, goes fast. Ah, ha. A low roar emanated from Black Goku's throat, and a layer of purple began to emit from the whole body. Halo _ The purple energy 08 burst out from the body, and in an instant, the purple light bloomed, reflecting the entire almost dead earth into a mauve. Soon, Black Goku's body also began to undergo drastic changes, and the originally black hair turned pink. The whole body is surrounded by inner ultraviolet red blazing flames. Cut, it's just Super Saiyan pink. I thought you had some new tricks. Chumo's face didn't change in the slightest, and he looked disdainful. Let you see what real power is. Chumo snorted coldly, the golden arrogance soaring to the sky shattered the space, and the entire galaxy was engulfed by Chumo's aura. Seihui trembled with shock. Chumo, who turned into Super Saiyan 4, has reached a terrifying level of combat power. How? Tremble, you so-called god. The red-haired Chumo kept flapping his long tail, his eyes full of icy coldness. Damn, just let you try what despair is. He Wukong was very unhappy with Chumo's weapon, and he was more than him. The corner of his mouth evoked a wicked arc, and Wukong He regained his confidence. This kind of powerful power, even he never owned it. Then the body flashed and rushed towards Chumo directly, at the same time condensing a powerful purple aura in his hand. Blade. Die. The purple air blade slashed directly at Chumo. Clang. A loud metal collision sounded, and Chumo directly blocked He Wukong's purple air blade with one finger. Clang clang clang. He Wukong quickly waved the purple air blade, but no matter how fast he was, Chumo would be faster, and his right index finger remained the same. Block the purple air blade. Damn, damn. He Wukong was even more angry. His power was unable to cause any harm to Chumo, which made him very not reconciled. Too slow, too slow. Chumo sneered, his body suddenly disappeared, and he punched Boom hard. Wow. Black Goku clutched his chest and kept retreating, stepping out pits one after another on the ground. The severe pain made him unable to control the purple air blade and disappeared instantly. It hurts, it's only a billionth of what you've brought to the earth. Chumo sneered, and then another elbow hit He Wukong's body thousands of meters away. Then the body moved, took a half step back, and a green figure just passed through the previous position. It was Zamasu who had just attacked, but his speed was too slow in Chumo's eyes. Aren't you a great god? You even come to sneak attack, rubbish. Chumo snorted coldly, then stretched out his right hand and grabbed the heel that Zamasu had just passed through. Nani? Zamasu was shocked. Just as he was about to resist, he felt his body being grabbed by Chumo. Then carry it upside down. Damn. Damn it, you're just a little ant. Chumo said coldly, destruction. After speaking, a layer of purple energy appeared in Chumo's palm, and then wrapped Zama's entire body. Come. Ah. Zamasu screamed in an instant, and his body was instantly frozen. In the blink of an eye, Zamasu's body turned into a little purple starlight and disappeared into the air. However, Chumo did not show a smile, but his face froze, because he felt that Zamaz's the breath still exists, without a trace of weakening. Sure enough, no. Chumo frowned and said that although the destructive energy is very powerful, Zamaz was transformed by a super dragon. It has become an immortal body, and the energy of destruction alone cannot clear it. Chumo also tried it, and it really did. I am afraid that even King Quan cannot be completely eliminated, otherwise he will not be brought back by Fu later. After all, the Dragon God is also the top powerhouse in all universes, and there are even rumors that the Dragon God is the previous generation of great priests. Chumo asked Kaiyan, the god of the outdated realm, but the second wife did not know the relationship between them. She was only 1 or 200 million years old. That's it. Before long, the purple stars gathered again, and then regrouped, and a few minutes later Zamath's the figure reappeared in front of Chumo. And whether it is with breath 400, or body, it is not affected by half at all. Haha, I am a god and will never die. Zamasu was very proud. Fuck, but you, a Saiyan, amazed me, you have a superpower. The power of the more gods, but also the power of the god of destruction. As far as I know, Beerus has not retired yet. At this time, Zamaz was very happy. He was really immortal. Looking at Chumo, he couldn't help himself. The second showed a cheesy smile. Crap, destruction. Chumo is cold, dare to laugh at me, even if you are immortal, you will die so much that you don't want to die, anyway, his energy has no limit. Ah. Zamaz screamed in pain again, and then watched his body get destroyed and turned into dots. Starlight. Cut, it's just a little more energy, ants are still ants. Chumo said disdainfully, and then set his eyes on He Wukong. I had known that I should have learned the magic seal wave first, and it was really troublesome, and I couldn't kill it if I beat it. Although it is very troublesome, Chumo will not lose in terms of momentum, and he still looks like he is aloof. Goku felt even more unhappy. Now he has an idea, that is to force Zamasu and Black Goku to merge, so that the SSS level undead body will fall down a notch. It's about the same as Buu at most, and it's much easier to destroy. Chapter 158_. Haha, you can't kill me. Zamath quickly returned to human form again and said proudly. Although it was a little painful when he died, he just wanted to sing in front of Chumo, otherwise he would be sorry for his inconvenience. Dead body. Idiot, you're nothing but an immortal ant. What a great thing. Destruction. Chumo stretched out his palm again and let Zamaz destroy again. Then a dodge came to Goku Black, and punched Goku Black's cheek. Bang. He Wukong watched Chumo's fist come over, but there was no way to escape, because Chumo had already sealed the space where he hides. Hey. After the face of He Wukong was violently deformed, he immediately flew out, followed the figure of Chumo and rushed out, leaping. Came behind Goku Black, another elbow hit him and flew him out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Boom, boom, boom. He Wukong's body is like a volleyball, and he is hit back and forth by Chumo, left, right, up and down. Don't let him land at all. Damn, you blasphemous fellow. After Zamaz recovered, seeing He Wukong being so ravaged by Chumo, his lungs exploded with anger. He was about to go forward to save Black Wukong, when suddenly a white light descended from the sky, and 3 figures appeared on the ground. Hey, Vegeta, you're too late. Now they don't have to play. Chumo said with a smile, and then pointed to the Black Wukong who was beaten into a dead dog by him. These 3 figures are naturally Sun Wukong, Vegeta, and Trunks. They learned that Chumo's family had left for the future, and they quickly followed. For this mysterious person in the future, they really want to try it. How can Chumo solve it alone? It's not too late. It's not too late. It's the same for us next. Sun Wukong laughed, but his eyes were looking at Zamasu and He Wukong. Sure enough, it's you. I saw you yesterday when I went to the cross-universe tilde. Sun Wukong said fiercely to Zamasu, who are you? You actually use my body. What if you know, I'm the only god in this world. Now the gods of destruction are all following the Kaiwang. God is dead and I am the only one, eternal and no one can kill me. Zamasu said fiercely, as if he was very proud. You're so proud of yourself that you were killed 3 times in a row by me, and it's not a problem for you to come back 10,000 times. Chumo laughed, causing Zamasu's smile to freeze. It doesn't matter who I am, what matters is, do you know how I treat your family? He Wukong continued to anger Sun Wukong with the appearance of a dead pig not afraid of boiling water. I killed all your wife and children, haha, it's cool, you forced me to do this. Gaga. Black Goku laughed out loud, as if he had done a very remarkable thing. Damn it, you killed Kiki, Gohan, Goten and the others, it's unforgivable. Sun Wukong was furious, immediately turned into a super blue state, rushed over, and fought with the pink and black Wukong. Damn it, this is my opponent, okay. Chumo is speechless, are you killing the enemy or saving the enemy? Lao Su beat her to the death, what are you doing here? Zamasu, you are Zamasu. It seems that you are not very good, since you want to kill all mankind, then I will kill you. Vegeta sneered when she saw Zamasu like this. Since Kakarot had met this Zamasu yesterday, it was his turn today. Vegeta rushed over quickly and ganged up with Zamasu, and the battle soon started. Chumo became the most laid-back person, looking at these 2 second-hand goods with a speechless expression. I can handle it all by myself. Are you trying to make trouble here? So speechless. Forget it, let's go, leave it to the 2 of them here. Chumo watched for a while, then came to the side of the 2 number 18 and Chu Shuexin and said softly. Since there is no more to fight, then he will take his 2 wives back to fight, 2 18s, it must be very intense. Mr. Chumo, here it is. Trunks is also very helpless, he can also see that before they came, Zamasu and Black Goku had already. After being beaten by Chumo, he couldn't fight back. But now these 2 enemies seem to have become stronger again, adding a lot of variables. It's okay, your father Vegeta's strength is not weak, and Sun Wukong is also very strong. As long as they don't care, solve it. They are not the problem. Chumo smiled, besides, if it doesn't work, it's me. At the last moment, I will shoot. Anyway, according to the anime plot, the 2 of them will still be defeated by Zamasu and Black Goku in the end. It's fine to let the 2 of them suffer a little bit, and the province is always self-righteous. Now he wants a king and a queen. As for Chu Shuexin, just coax her to play. Back at his temporary home on the 18th in the future, Chumo took out a few universal capsules, which were filled with all kinds of beautiful clothes and food. The family of 4 happily ate, and after coaxing Chu Shuexin to sleep, Chumo took 2 number 18 and started war between men and women. In order to win the dignity of the paternal line, Chumo did everything he could. After several experiments, Chumo discovered that the 2 18s really have strong telepathy. And the distance is very far, even hundreds of meters are still sensitive, this side is comfortable, and that side is also comfortable. It made Chumo excited, and as the distance decreased, the induction became stronger. 18 in the future shouted, his whole body became sore and sweaty, and another number 18 also felt a great sense. Chu, after fighting with Chumo for a long time, he shouted and let go of his limbs, so good for Zhao. The fighting strength of the 2 women has therefore weakened a lot, but it is also easier to become enthusiastic, allowing Chumo to enjoy all the men. The blessing of man. Chumo also brought many special costumes, including flight attendants, policewomen, nurses, teachers, etc. Infinitely happy. Early in the morning, Chumo stood up on his waist, and he could imagine how fierce the battle was. After careful perception, Chumo realized that the auras of Vegeta and Sun Wukong were also becoming weaker. But Zamasu and Black Goku are much stronger than yesterday. Originally, Black Goku only had the strength of Super 4, but now it is no worse than Super 1 Star Dragon. This growth rate. Chumo couldn't help but be surprised. Chumo moved his muscles and bones, then put on his clothes, and the figure disappeared directly into the room. Appearing again, Chumo has come to the air above Vegeta and others, looking down at the fighting. 4 people. Chapter 159_4810. I saw Vegeta and Sun Wukong's bodies were full of scars, and their breath was weakened to the point that they were almost even super strong. Saiyans are not as good as one. On the other hand, Zamasu has almost no scars on his body, and his breath has not changed at all. It can be seen that he is not dead. The strength of the body. Although Black Wukong has many scars, he is obviously much better than Sun Wukong. Have you two fought enough? This time you know that the other party is strong. Chumo's voice was very cold. These two second-hand goods, if you don't give them a little bit of power, they still don't know the power of the other party. This is not only a measure of combat power, the Dragon Ball progress bar has reached this level, the enemies. The abilities are even more bizarre. The immortal body is not considered the most powerful, and if he is not a god, he will never become the strongest king. Just like Beps, although not as good as the devil Demigura, but Demigura just can't control him, instead he. Some are afraid of Beerus. It is because Beerus' godhead is immune to mind control, which makes the demon god Demigula more afraid. Hoo, these two guys are really weird. One can be resurrected after being killed, and the other has great potential. Get stronger with each injury. Sun Wukong gasped, very unconvinced. Vegeta is also unconvinced. This guy has been beaten to death hundreds of times by him and Kakarot, but this family. The buddy's recovery ability is even more perverted than the original Boo. After playing all night, nothing happened, which made him even more depressed. And he was beaten like this by a fake Kakarot, which is definitely the biggest shame. You can't beat it, you can't kill it, there's nothing more embarrassing than this. The most important thing is that the opponent's strength is obviously not as good as them, but it makes them unable to do the same. Okay, then you all go back and watch, don't spend the whole day doing this useless. The battle should be simply. Chumo said coldly. The figure appeared behind Vegeta and Sun Wukong, and the man rewarded him with a punch and directly punched him. They fly out. Stealing Lao Tzu's head naturally has to pay a price. Wow. Yuck. Vegeta and Sun Wukong clutched their chests with a strong sense of nausea, followed by severe pain. Give the two of you a chance, those Patara earrings have a powerful function. It is no problem to increase the strength by tens of thousands of times, AIBC. Chumo said suddenly. This sentence brought hope to Zamasu and Black Wukong who were almost in despair. Hey, Chumo, why are you telling them this? Vegeta is in a hurry, this function is very powerful. Although he doesn't want to use it, he doesn't want his opponent to use it either. Shut up, you can't breathe. Chumo joked. Vegeta. I draw a circle and curse you. Fit together, Zamasu. Zamasu and Black Goku looked at each other and said in unison. They were originally one person, and it didn't matter if they fit together. The moment the earrings were put on, a golden light enveloped Zamasu and Black Goku directly. The dazzling light is very strong, and the breath of the two people in the light also disappeared, and a more powerful breath rushed out of the silver. The river system shocked the entire universe. Soon, the golden light disappeared little by little, and a brand new figure appeared in the eyes of Chumo and the others. It is still Monkey King's crab hairstyle, but the color has changed to white. The face is a combination of half Zamasu and half Black Goku, and even the Kaiwang God uniform on his body also turned black and dark green. It's amazing how this earring can change clothes. Chumo couldn't help but pouted. Zamasu is very proud after the fit, face enjoys the pleasure brought by his powerful energy. Chumo felt it, and found that the strength of this product is indeed very strong, at least stronger than the original Super 4 Wujita. Stronger. But it's still not that much like Beerus, let alone Super Blue Vegeta. The combination of Sun Wukong and Vegeta has become extremely powerful. How come these two gods are not so strong? Big effect. It seems that the fit also depends on the character. Chumo secretly compared in his heart, and found that the strength of this fit Zamasu is really not good. Although Chumo felt that Zamasu's strength after the combination was not as strong as yesterday, Sun Wukong and Vegeta didn't think so. What a strong breath. It really became stronger after combining. This power is really strong, and Sun Wukong thinks that if he can always maintain the Super Saiyan Blue state, or Shu can still compete with this fit Zamasu for a while. But the consumption of Super Saiyan Blue is too great to keep fighting for a long time. Who exactly are you? Zamasu slowly flew to Chumo and confronted him with a serious look on his face. He was abused by Chumo for so long, but he didn't even know who the other party was, which made him feel very ashamed. You don't need to know, it's good to be a fool, it's for you. Chumo said calmly. Dead. Hearing Chumo's words, Zamasu smiled instead of anger. It's really a pity, I didn't have a chance with death, but I love it. Have an immortality, you haven't tried it a long time ago, haha. After that, a colorful arrogance erupted from Zamasu's body. The speed of, rushed directly to Chumo. Bang. However, it is a pity that Zamasu has just bullied him to Chumo's side, and before he can make a move, Chumo's figure is already there. Appeared behind Zamasu like a ghost. An elbow hit directly on Zamasu's chest. Wow. Zamasu, who was severely hit, suddenly spurted out blood with a look of pain on his face. Before Zamasu could take a breath, Chumo turned around and kicked Zamasu directly. Amazing. Sun Wukong, Vegeta, and Trunks saw that Chumo still beat the combined Zamasu to nothing. The power to fight back was astonishing. I didn't expect Mr. Chumo's strength to reach such a level. It seems that Dad and Sun Wukong are not needed. The uncle is reunited, and Mr. Chumo can solve Zamasu by himself. Trunks recovered from the shock, and then said with a look of joy. Chumo is only Super Saiyan 4 now, and he has not yet emerged from the super state of Super Saiyan, so he seems very relaxed. Bang! Chumo's figure appeared beside Zamasu, who shot backwards, and punched him again. With a loud bang, the terrifying force directly smashed Zamasu into the ground. However, although Zamasu appeared to be in pain, the injuries on his body soon recovered. Network. Remember me. 5GXS. Chapter 160 The Mad Zamasu. Haha, see, your attack is useless to me. The more it hurts, the more my strength increases. Zamasu grinned. Puffy, you're like a psychopath now, you know. Chumo said disdainfully. Zamasu's face turned cold, and he said, you will never understand the greatness of God, so I will show you now. How great is the power of God? Then he roared, his body slowly rose, and a layer of crimson energy light spots appeared behind him. Blade of Judgment, give me death. Zamasu's resentful voice sounded, and the scarlet light spots also condensed into terrifying air blades. Chumo directly slashed down. This is your strongest god power. Really Tilda, I'm so disappointed. Chumo shook his head. Such an attack, even if they stood still, they couldn't hurt them enough. And don't even try to hit him once. Chumo's figure suddenly disappeared, and the terrifying chi blade instantly lost its target. Where are you? Zamasu shouted, and his palms kept blasting energy bombs in all directions. Boom! 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 There were violent explosions everywhere, and even Sun Wukong, Vegeta and others could only keep avoiding these horrors. Energy bomb. It's okay to say you're stupid, or should you say you're stupid? Forget it, you're really stupid. Chumo's voice suddenly appeared in front of Zamasu. A layer of golden energy shrouded his right hand, and then his right hand was covered with golden energy. Grab Zamasu directly by the head. Damn, here we go again. Zamasu only felt dark in front of him, and a bad thought appeared in his mind. Immediately afterwards, he felt his body falling rapidly, and he struggled desperately, like a drowning person. Boom. The next second, Zama's body was smashed to the ground again by Chumo, a terrifying wave of energy in Chu Mo's right palm slammed out. No. Zamasu let out a shrill cry, and raised his limbs up, as if calling for help. Countless streaks of golden light scatter from the earth, illuminating the entire solar system, and the earth is like a new star. General. The strong dazzling light made Sun Wukong and others could not help covering their eyes. The light dissipated, and a huge pit with a diameter of several thousand meters appeared on the ground, and half of Zama's head was gone, and the halo above his head disappeared. How's it going? Are you convinced? Chumo said coldly. He knew that Zama's was not dead yet. After a while, half of Zamasu's head grew back, and his face was full of anger. He has already merged into the strongest state. Why is he still abused like this by the other party? No, he shouldn't be abused by Chumo like a dog. Hey! Zamath flew from the bottom of the crater, suspended in the air, and extended a long lightsaber from his right hand. Die! Zamath looked at Chumo fiercely, and after he finished speaking, he rushed down, and the lightsaber fell heavily on Chumo's body. Chong! The next moment, Zamath's anger turned to panic. A finger of the rhinoceros. Chumo didn't dodge, just stretched out two fingers and lightly clamped Zama's lightsaber. One finger. Monkey King and Vegeta, who were watching from a distance, were in love with each other. What the hell is this? Chumo sneered in his heart. Hey, I don't know. This is a magical stunt. Of course they don't know Sun Wukong. This is the super invincible martial arts of a certain department of Chumo's previous life. He is also on a whim, just calling a name. In fact, in this Dragon Ball world, this thing is pure nonsense. As long as the strength is strong enough, you want to clamp others. Weapons, very simple. Chumo sneered, and then threw a punch, hitting Zama's directly in the abdomen. Wow! Zama's let out a scream and flew out again. He really hated the feeling of flying backwards, as if after meeting Chumo, he would keep flying backwards. Fly upside down. No, I don't believe it. Come again. Although it was very painful, Zama's felt his strength increased again, jumped up, and pointed his lightsaber at Chumo again. Slashed hard. You will, and so will I. Chumo didn't use his consonant finger this time. He stretched out his right hand, and his fingertips stretched out a golden energy star that was more than 10 meters long. The sword stabbed at the moment Zamasu sprinted down. This time it was embarrassing, and the sound of Kyla sounded as if Zama's had bumped himself into Chumo's lightsaber. Straight bars hang on Chumo's lightsaber. Flowers. It looked like a broiler chicken being roasted. The whole scene was extremely embarrassing, and Zamasu's face seemed to be the color of a pig. Shame. Monkey King in the distance laughed so much that his stomach hurts. Does Zamasu have a hole in his head? Ha, even if your strength is stronger than me. But you can't kill me, are you helpless? In a blink of an eye, Zamasu found a new way to comfort himself and began to laugh at Chumo. Oh, there's a hole in your head, there's nothing you can do. In your current situation, you can only comfort yourself like this. Otherwise, you don't even have the courage to fight me. Chumo sneered and dismantled Zamasu directly. Are you still immortal? Do you think you are still like before? You seem to be in pain now. The breath is also declining. You are so pitiful. Chumo had a look of pity on his face. Under his stimulation, the spirit of this guy began to have problems. After the fusion, Zamasu is also immortal, but he is no longer a SSS level immortal. The difference between the undead body of the SSS level and the SS level is that the SSS level is relatively pure and does not consume after resurrection. any energy. But the SS grade is different. Every time after being attacked, you will feel severe pain, and then the breath will also change. It will start to decrease with the resurrection consumption. If it goes on like this, as long as you kill a few more times, Zamasu will really die sooner or later. Chumo doesn't want to play with Zamasu anymore. He has almost collapsed the fragile mind of the other party. Well, it doesn't make sense anymore. Impossible. Zamath gritted his teeth and kept saying, impossible. How can it become like this? So, he was deceived by Chumo again. Zamasu was extremely reluctant to admit this. He couldn't be played around by Chumo. He has always been playing with people. How could he be played by people? Impossible. Then let you try. With a wave of his right hand, Chumo directly cut Zamasu in half, and then blasted an energy wave with his left hand. Boom. A violent explosion sounded, and Zama's figure was directly smashed into slag by Chumo. Beg.